فعلا الامر غير وكرو الامر غير يا عيني يا عيني يا عيني يا عيني
فعلا يطلع من التشيكن دينر. مزار بيحاول ياخذ الفرصه هنا عند لاعب ثور. يا ولد يا مزار الرخ يغادر المباراه. وايضا 4v1 بالنسبه لتيم ذا وورد اوف باتل.
Well, bonsoir, bienvenue, hello and welcome to everyone. We are getting ready to jump into phase number 3. We've waited a full entire week to see what our teams are going to get up to in this phase, as they are going to be looking to crank out even more points to get themselves even more secured within those standings. As we know, it is going to be a full action-packed day ahead of us, as we are going to be heading into our 5 matches to see exactly what our teams are going to be bringing through. But of course, before we get anywhere close to that, we are going to be taking a look and just reminding the viewers of, the format and the points and the map rotation that we are going to be working through. But of course, now, especially stepping into this phase, stepping into this week, we also then have a new shuffle with regards to these teams. So they are going to be playing through different groups to try and get themselves properly and decently secured within those standings. So I can't wait to see what our teams are going to be bringing through. Of course, now this being day number 1 of the phase means that we are going to be heading into a very balanced day, right? We are going to be having equal share of Erangel and Miramar, of course, with that addition of Sanhok coming through as well. So as we know, these teams really been proving themselves. I believe we are going to be taking a look at the overall standings at some point as well, at least before we get into our first match, just get a good idea as to where these teams find themselves, in case anyone potentially forgot what the point situation is. Of course, we did see FALCONS, White and RUKH Esports, both teams now climbing up to 8 eliminations in total. But speaking about the format, let's head straight into that. Of course, we are working our way through the league phase, where we are going to be having 5 days of action, and in which all 20 of our teams are going to be participating. And as we know, at the end of this phase, we will know exactly who our top 16 teams are. Those 16 teams that are going to be making their way through to the lovely, lovely finals, in which we'll be looking at 3 days of action, crammed full of 6 matches. So of course, during the league stage, the teams are only playing 4 matches each. But once we make it up into the finals, that is where we add 2 additional maps to the tally. So it is going to be quite exciting to see exactly who is going to be making it to that point. And of course, if you've got any predictions, now would be a good time to drop those predictions, right? We've been seeing quite a few teams looking to rise up, especially moving into that second phase, right? We've had a few teams taking a little bit more relaxed approach coming through the first phase, trying to get a good assessment as to what we could be seeing coming through from the competitive teams. But as we hit that second phase, it's like a rocket was lit somewhere, right? They just stepped up. They brought in a very, very aggressive push, a very strong effort to try and secure themselves as many possible points as they can. Now, we've been seeing quite a few moves and changes coming through. And of course, as we know, the team's fully looking to capitalize on all these moves and changes that we have with regards to our point system. As we know, we are going to be starting with that pole position, which is worth 10 points. And then, of course, it trickles all the way down to where we find ourselves right there in that 9th to 16th slot, right? That is unfortunately not going to be worth any placement points, but the teams can still make up for that by utilizing as many eliminations rather as they can find. And of course, as we know, the teams are also playing for their share of the bonus points, right? That is again what is going to be coming through at the end of this phase, to see exactly how many teams, or how many points rather, our respective teams will be able to collect. As we know, those bonus points are going to count towards what these teams will be starting the finals with. So there's always going to be quite a bit of pressure, quite a bit of a race to see exactly where these teams are going to be ending up, how many points they are going to be securing. And from what we've seen so far, FALCONS White, well, they've been able to secure themselves 40 points in total based on the previous 2 phases, which is already quite a big improvement of what we had come through from them in the previous season. But of course, now the teams are also then playing for their share of that prize pool. Within the league stage, all the teams are going to be awarded exactly the same share of that prize pool. Of course, everyone's going to be walking away with $1,300 minimum, and we also have $1,000 up for the MVP, as well as the most winner chicken dinners. But it's once we get into the finals, that is where the teams possess the capability, the opportunity to increase that bank all the way up to $5,500 on top of the $1,300 that they will have already accrued from that league stage. So a very exciting opportunity lies ahead for these teams. But as we know, it's all going to come down to this final phase, this final week, and of course the last few matches that we have to work our way through. Now, that is going to consist of 26 matches that these teams will be playing, 25 of which is going to be our standard maps, that 26th one, right? That is LUKH. Now, of course, speaking about the teams, speaking about the groups, let's take a look at it. As we can see right here, it is going to be Falcons, White, Mo, Greedy, and Wave to lock us into Group A. And then, of course, if we look across the board, we find Group E all the way over on that right-hand side. So that is going to be RUKH, XENON, Superpower, as well as the Vampires. So a nice little bit of a change, a nice little bit of a shift. I mean, Falcons, most still maintaining the same group as we saw in the previous phase. Then looking over on towards that far right-hand side, even the Vampires also still maintaining that exact same slot. We do see a few other shifts, a few other shuffles coming through between our teams. RUKH Esports, for instance, still going to be over in Group B. As we take a look over onto that Group C, it's changed, right? The entire Group C has shifted. Group D, we still have the players there from Arab Golden within that slot. And of course, well, that is going to be quite exciting now to see exactly how these teams are going to be looking to step up the proceedings. As we know, the teams will have to try and pop off, right? It is almost game time. It is almost that opportunity for us to see exactly what our teams are going to be bringing to the table. But as we know, we are going to be taking a look at that map rotation as well to get a bit of an idea as to what these teams are going to be playing through. So I can tell you already, but we'll see the picture pretty soon. So we are going to be starting on Erangel, heading over into Miramar. Well, here's the picture. Right, we're going to be starting on Erangel, heading over into Miramar, then of course locking it out with a little bit of that Sanhok action before returning back onto the lovely Miramar and Erangel yet again. I see we got a few commenters coming through in the chat as well. We got PLUSEIGHTEEN as well as RUI saying hey. What's up? Happy to have everyone here. Of course, if you've got any predictions, any thoughts that you would like to share about the potential outcome of the day, be sure to let me know. If you've got a prediction on the outcome of the first match, right, be sure to let me know that as well. As we know, we are going to be stepping into Erangel. Now, looking at the teams that we have that could potentially be stepping into this first match, right, we've been having teams perform quite strong within the previous few Erangels. We've seen RUKH Esports, we've seen the World of Battle bring in quite a bit of a dominating performance here. Both teams sitting on 5 winner-winner chicken dinners apiece. Now, that already sets the bar quite high, but we're going to look to see whether or not the teams can replicate those efforts moving through this phase, right? Will we see RUKH Esports in the World of Battle continue with dominance? Will they secure themselves even more winner-winner chicken dinners? Or could we potentially even see the players from Falcons White securing their very first winner-winner chicken dinner? Of course, all of that can happen right here and more. But as we know, we are just waiting to hop straight into that. We, of course, are going to be taking a look at a quick little video as well. So let's enjoy.
الفعلية المتواجدة من فريق الويفي سبورت بعدما تخلص من الواي بوي حاول يطبق ضغط متواصل على فريق الرادي سبورت الذي ينهار في هذه اللحظات انهيار والأروع منه على فريق الفالكونز وايت سبورتس. قبل قليل فالكونز وايت سبورتس قصد اسقاطا على فريق البلوسيغhteen وحاليا يحط صوب عيني فريق السي بي. ياتي كيو، ما هذا ياتي كيو، داون نوك داون في لمح البصر اخر امال السي بي. على ريكس ليني انطلاقه على مين؟ على الموج الازرق الذي يعاني الان، ما زال يحاول بيتروكس سبراي على كيمي 1 اتش بي. قوه يتقرب، قوه ما يرحمش. الكسندر ما زال، ولكن بيتروكس يا الله.
قبل كده الماريمار، لكن هنشوف دلوقتي هازارد دايما لوحدك يا هازارد. مطحونه بالنيف ان هازارد هيكون في السبال ولا لا. النيت بالحضن هاتوا بالحضن، كمل في الشوت جان. هازارد موقفه صعب، موقفه كبير. الاول والثاني يا عيني هازارد الدبابه. هازارد فين الثالث يا هازارد؟ هازارد لسه مكمل في كلاتش صعب. هازارد الشوكه، هنشوف دلوقتي هازارد هل استخدامك للمولي ولا امثل. هازارد يقرر النزول، يقرر الرجوع. هازارد مغامر. يا الله يا الله يا الله يا هازارد.
جواز الى يسار الكرام.
وانا متواصل لكن برودي دلوقتي الاستقبال. الي الصفيق، الي فوق، الي ركز يا برولي ركز. استقبال والاروع على تيم سماش. فينك يا برولي؟ جنب عليهم يا برولي، طير عليهم يا برولي. التي بي اس او قلبك يا برولي وروح. جاب الثالث، جاب الاخير يا برولي. هات كلاتشات، هات وايب وريهم. الجري يا برولي والدخول جي والبليد.
Well, there we go. Some pretty jam-packed bits of action that we've seen, of course, a few amazing highlights coming through from our previous 2 phases. But of course, as we know, we're getting ourselves ready to hop into phase number 3 to kick off the proceedings to see exactly what these teams are going to be working with, what that flight path looks like, where the zone's going to be going. But of course, we could be taking a look at those overall standings as well. As we know, right, we've got the phase points and we've got the overall points. Now, the top 16 on the overall, those are the teams that are going to be moving forward in towards the finals. But of course, the top 12 on the league side, they're going to be stepping into that bonus match all the way over in day number 5. Now, we also have a bit of a comparison coming through here for our teams. As we can see, clear vision, right, their level of performance based on that first phase compared to how they were performing in the second phase. Now, as you can see, the points, or the eliminations rather, coming through there for clear vision over on the right-hand side, that is from phase number 2. Phase number 1, they were able to secure themselves a bucket load more of eliminations. We can see 9 more coming through, but again, you can see again the damage just stacking up, right? First phase went quite swimmingly for them, but based on the performance that they were bringing through in that second phase, you can see they also then came through with 63 assists. So it means that they've still been quite active, but we want to see what that is going to translate to, right? How are they going to try and bring all that aggression from the first phase? Maybe bringing that through in towards the second phase, because, I mean, Clear Vision, they've been just really cranking out as many points as they possibly could manage. And of course, as we know, with regards to those overall standings, they do find themselves currently secured up into 4th position, sitting on 297 points. That, of course, being the culmination of phase 1 and phase 2 altogether. But of course, another story that we have, and we could maybe also be taking a look at that, is of course those PMGC points. As we know, the teams are still in a bit of a race, right? And when I say teams, I'm referring to 2, right? Referring to 2 teams that could be in very close contention to try and make a dash for that. Of course, there's a 105-point difference between the team that is going to get that invite straight into PMGC, and then, of course, the team hot on their heels. So excited to see how that one is going to pan out. Of course, Blind saying, expecting a big step up from Clear. Well, I am super excited. If that is going to be the case, if that is going to be the play to come through from Clear Vision, I mean, I am on board, right? Clear Vision also not looking too bad with their overall PMGC points. They are currently sat all the way in 7th place with just north of 700 points. But as we know, there's already quite a bit of a gap, right? One of the other teams that have also been stepping up quite a bit, team sat just, well, 11 points. Behind them is going to be the side here of RUKH. Again, we've got their phase 1 versus phase 2 comparison. Now, phase 2 over on the right-hand side, as you can see, it is white lights all the way. So they've really been just locking in that performance, stepping it up. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. You can see nearly a 10,000 damage increase. So that is about 9,000, a bit of change worth of damage that they've been able to find. Also a plethora of eliminations. I mean, that is 25 more elims, and of course also 7 more assists that they've been able to secure just in this last phase. So RUKH definitely busy with an upward trend here, and I really like this for them, because if we look at the kind of play, the kind of finish that they brought through in the previous season, I mean, RUKH definitely one of those teams that deserve a strong finish here. So I'm excited to see what exactly RUKH is going to be looking to bring out onto this battlefield. But of course, well, how far are they going to go? We don't know. There is going to be only one way for us to find out. We have to get into those matches. We need to see exactly what these teams have been cooking up over this past week. Now, I'm quite excited to see what the teams will be bringing through, because this entire week has allowed them now a great opportunity to sit, do those VOD reviews, come through with some pretty good strategies to, you know, go up against the opposing teams, to try and see if they can get the edge, get that opportunity, get themselves secured into not only winning chicken dinners, but even more points to come through. As we know, that is what the important part is of these league stages, is how many points will these teams be able to secure, because they are making the race to get themselves all the way into that top 16. And of course, well, we do know that RUKH Esports, and of course then the players coming through from the side there of Falcons White, in a bit of a race for those PMGC points. As I said, there's a 105-point difference currently between the two of them. Now, this is going to be the last opportunity for RUKH Esports to try and potentially close that gap. Not quite sure whether or not they are going to be able to catch up, but they're going to have to try and definitely close it up as best they can. Looking at the performances that we've seen come through from Falcons White so far, you can see Psych definitely locking in the aggression there, coming through with 17,640 damage. That is 5,000, well, even 3,000 more than the rest of the team. So very, very aggressive play coming through that. Of course, you can see Puncher also really good at avoiding the hits. I mean, that's probably why the name is called Puncher. But Psych definitely carrying the team with regards to those eliminations as well as the assists. So a very, very strong effort coming through from all 4 the participants here. Now, if you tally all the damage up, it comes to some ridiculous amount. Looking like it's, what, somewhere beyond 50,000. So that already speaks volumes as to what Falcons White have been bringing to this battlefield. Now, if you remember last season at the end of league stage, they were also sat on 8 eliminations. Now, that is quite a bit of a change up in comparison to what we have here. I mean, we are only done with the first 2 phases. We've not even stepped into the 3rd phase, and they all are already sitting on 8 winner-winner chicken dinners. Now, I want to at least see one of those chicken dinners come through over onto Erangel, right? That is a map in which we've not really seen them locking in such a strong play. I mean, they are holding on with pretty good stats, but we've not seen a winner-winner chicken dinner come through on there. And as we know, yes, chicken dinners, they don't mean all that much, but I just want to see the number change, right? I think that would be a pretty good one. Now, we were talking about the Ra'ad. This season so far, they are situated all the way up into 6th place. Last season, at the end of the 3rd phase, in fact, at the end of the finals, they found themselves, at the end of league, they were all the way up to 11th place, securing 300 total points. Now, if you compare that to what we've been having from them so far this season, they're only 14 points away from matching their points from the previous season within league stage. So I'm curious to see whether or not they are going to be looking to maybe even go beyond that. Of course, they have more than ample opportunity to do exactly that. And even just based on what they've been doing in the previous phase, right? Back in phase 2, they secured themselves 167 points. 2 winner-winner chicken dinners coming through off of that as well. So definitely based on what we've been seeing from Ra'ad so far, the increase from phase 1 to phase 2, they possess more than enough capability to do exactly that. So I'm pretty sure they are going to be looking to secure themselves quite strong within this phase. But of course, well, we are getting ready to kick off the proceedings. We are just encroaching on that first match to see exactly what these teams are going to be doing, what the kind of expectation is going to be for this phase, right? Just how high exactly these teams are going to be looking to set that standard. And, well, I honestly can't wait to see what these teams are going to be bringing through. So as we know, right, Erangel match number 1. So, of course, match number 1, Group E, they are going to be sitting this one out. So that is going to be Ra'ad, as well as the players then from Superpower, the Vampires, and then, of course, XENON. They'll be joining us once we head over in towards Miramar, and they are going to be playing it all the way through. And, of course, our participants in Group A, they are only going to be playing up to match number 4. Match number 5, they will already be done with their day. So, yeah, excited to see what these teams are going to be bringing in. If you've got predictions for Erangel, hit me up in the chat. Let me know, who do you think is going to be the team to take this winner-winner chicken dinner? You can also hit us up on social media, of course, right here on YouTube and Facebook, as well as on TikTok. So be sure to head on over. Let us know what your thoughts are. Be sure to include the hashtag, right? Hashtag PMPL Africa, and tell us what you've been thinking of your favorite team's performance so far throughout this event. Of course, well, it all boils down to this last week. These last few days, we've only got 5 days. That's it, right? We are busy with day 1, day 2 coming up very, very soon. Of course, we first have to get through day 1. And then, well, we enter the final weekend, right? That final stretch to see what the teams are going to be bringing in. Of course, even to see if there are going to be any major upsets potentially on the horizon. RUKH Esports are going to be winning the first match. All right. So we've got the blind coming through with that first prediction. Now, if you wanna join blind in that prediction, be sure to let me know in the chat. If you're feeling a little bit bold, you can also tell me by how many eliminations the winning team is going to be walking away here, right? Are they going to be finishing on 10? Are they going to be sitting on 16, 21, 24, 5, 3? I don't know, pick a number. But be sure to let us know in the chat. Curious to hear your thoughts on that. But of course, well, it's about that time, right? We're nearly getting ready to hop straight on in to see exactly what that first match is going to be bringing in. I'm excited because, as we know, right, new groups, same map rotation, so the teams have had a bit of an opportunity to build up a bit of consistency, right? They know kind of what to expect. They've seen how these other opposing squads and groups can play it out, and now I want to see how they are going to be implementing all that information that we've been able to gather from the previous season as well as these previous two phases. And how much homework have they done just in this last week? Because as we know, VOD reviews, it's important. The teams surely have sat down and, really gotten their heads in the books trying to study everything and anything that they can. But of course, as we know, there's a lot of randomity that is going to be coming through here. Of course, that zone can still switch in either which way it wants. We've seen some pretty odd changes, odd shifts rather, come through with these zones. If you remember on Miramar, we had that one zone that sent it all the way down to Los Higos, all the way on that southern side. I mean, some pretty sweaty plays. But of course, I hope we see even more sweaty plays, right? Maybe from the zone, maybe from the teams, who knows. But yeah, I'm excited to see what the momentum is going to be from teams like Clear Vision as well as RUKH. But more importantly, I'm going to be looking to MEA Esports as well, right? Currently within the league standings, they do find themselves still situated all the way in 20th place. So maybe this phase, they can look to get themselves out of that and situated a little bit further on up. Speaking of which, it is go time as we head straight on down. Trying to get a good idea as to what exactly this flight path is going to be. Ooh, alright. It is going to be starting us up in shooting range, heading all the way down to that Sosnovka military island. It's a slightly more western flight path, but it's not going to be too upsetting for these teams. As we know, they are very, very capable of getting themselves properly and decently secured all across this area. But I think the big question now is going to be, where exactly is that zone going to be forming? Right, is it going to favor anybody? Is it going to favor any particular region? And how are these teams going to adapt? Castle Black now going to be making their push. Heading up in towards that lovely Zaki and North George position. Of course, Smash right there alongside them. Both teams coming through from Group C at least. So let's see what changes they are going to be bringing into the battlefield. It is all now building up, waiting in anticipation to see exactly what these teams are going to be bringing out. Ooh, look at that zone. Look at that zone, blessing us with a beautiful southeastern situation. Of course, Farm is going to be smack dab center zone. So Clear Vision, Falcons, they are going to be quite happy about this. Let's see what the rest of the teams are going to be doing. Of course, we got a little bit of potential action coming through between Mo and Wave. We also can see GREEDYFORKILLS just hanging in the wing. And that seems to be up in school. Potato Hill, we might see a little bit of that Arab Golden action heading over there. Ooh. But right out of the gate, Clear Vision, the first team to lose a player, Special Esports, driving it in. Here we go, jumping straight through it. Focus. Also now just looking for a little bit of change here and there. Ramsey, Broly looking to step it up nice and aggressively. But is Ramsey going to be able to find that last little bit of an angle? Why is he now going to be coming in? Looking to fortify the sides. Vitor waiting inside. Oh, nicely played. Now it's down to one shot. That's all they need, right? One shot to rule them all. Oh, lovely. See? I mean, that's the beauty of the shot here. That is why one shot is called one shot. I don't know if that's actually true, but let's just say yes. They are in dire need of meds, though. So it's now going to rely on what Broly will have cooking for them. And, well, there we have our answer. It is going to be an unfortunate end for Clear Vision, but a valiant effort, bro. Going out with 3 eliminations. Broly looking like Rocky as they just punching the air a little bit in celebration that they are still alive. But there we go, right? Some nice bit of sweaty action right out of the gate. Wave also now finding themselves a share of Arab Golden. So it seems like these teams are not wasting any time, getting right down to business. Looking to secure as many of their angles as they possibly can. Of course, MEA Esports, they're going to be secured all the way over in towards Lipovka on that eastern side of zone. special now. Yeah, it looks a little bit grim. Arab Golden also not in the best situation. They have been able to make a bit of a breakaway. Of course, now they are just slightly west here from our Esports. Kind of in between Shelter and Prison. So we might see them actually looking to just hide away in Prison, at least for the time being. Blind wasn't also happy about that play coming through on towards Clear Vision. Right, well, so, I mean, still, RUKH Esports, there's opportunity for them to still take the winner chicken dinner on this one, right? We've not yet seen anything come through from their side just yet. Of course, they are currently situated all the way in towards Severny. Wave also now looking for a bit of ground, right? They are just breaking their way through a little bit of shelter, testing the waters, looking to see if anyone's going to come through with a bit of a spray. Even Greedy, I mean, they've got a nice setup here. Right, secured up in the apartments buildings. It's going to be Delhop and Hemo looking to expand their reach. Also, again, information is going to be essential at this stage. The World of Battle, they, however, look quite comfortable up here in towards RUKH. I mean, a nice spread that they've got as well, right? We see Arthur all the way over in towards the Sunken City. So I think this is World of Battle really looking to utilize as much of the available space that they have here. But of course, as we know, World of Battle, well, they don't really need any introduction when it comes to Erangel. As I've mentioned before, already sitting with 5 winner-winner chicken dinners under their belt. But we are waiting in anticipation to see who's going to be the team to pick it up right here. I mean, Black Hand, they could also have a bit of a say in this. They've got a nice spot to work out of here. Of course, Yasnaya Poliana, their home turf. So they are feeling very, very confident when it comes to at least, you know, having Yasnaya towards the northern side of zone. So curious to see what their options or their rotation is going to be, right? How are they going to be looking to play through this one, where those rotations are going to lead them. But I think more importantly, we need to see what that first initial zone is going to be doing, right? Is it going to be complementary to its current situation, right? Is it maybe going to shift to the east, to the west? Is it going to center up? Because any of those shifts could drastically change up the playstyle for our teams here. But for the time being, we are just going to work our way through the looting phase. Of course, this is the remainder of Arab Golden. As you can see, Neutron and Hazem. Nice bit of a spread. I don't necessarily think that they are going to be receiving too much attention just yet, especially looking at kind of where Prison is situated within the zone. I mean, it is over on towards that eastern side. So maybe if more Esports feel up to it, they might come knocking on their door. Speaking about knocking, look at this. This is Greedy. Going toe-to-toe here with World of Battle. Already down to Delhop. This is not the kind of start that Greedy was hoping for. Let's see if they'll be able to bounce back. Ooh, nice, good response over on towards Arthur. So not all hope is lost just yet for Delhop. Well, if you could see you running out in the open, of course, no surprise that you are going to get shipped out back to that lobby. So the World of Battle, and up to 4 eliminations. Already 2 teams down. And unfortunately for Greedy, well, they can all but look on, as they will not find themselves any points for this first match. Although the battle needs to be careful, because we do see RUKH Esports now rotating south, just north of their current positioning. So there could be a few surprises just around the bend. Speaking of bends, we got 77k. Just creeping up into the zone. +18, holding slightly towards the eastern side. Just to the north is going to be Jack Digger. Ooh. Speaking of +18, here they are. And of course, well, as I said, the World of Battle need to be careful because RUKH Esports are on the way. And with that, they lose their first player. And this could be that opportunity now for RUKH to look to find even more eliminations as we patiently await that zone shift. And there we have it. It is now just slightly centering up on itself. Again, right, Broly smacked up center zone. I don't think they were really planning on any of that to come through. you can bet your dollar that Broly is going to be tested quite heavily, especially looking at the sheer number of players and participants still in the vicinity. Plus 18, Jack Digger, 77k. They're going to have a little bit of a sweaty play around towards this western edge. Let's see, maybe they can settle their differences. Potentially, we could see a bit of a disengage coming through here. But as to be expected, that blue zone is going to come closing on through. So not a lot of time between phase, well, 2 and 3. The blue zone could, however, take a bit of its sweet time. So we'll see exactly what these teams will have to work with. In the meanwhile, it's going to be 77k. Not going to be waiting around on the edge of zone. Instead, it opens up the opportunity now for Jack Digger to try and get a bit of a hit up into Smash. Is he camping now, cooking up that nade? It is let loose. Ooh, doesn't find anything, but of course the spray does. Smash Jack. Oh, there we have it. Camper seems to be somewhat on fire here coming through with that S12K and the M4. Nice little bit of an exchange. We're going to watch out for those HP bars as Van gets taken down and vehicle crash. Does end it right there as Danzo comes through with beautiful play, and that is going to be the end. Beautiful strat here from Jack. I mean, they were just getting that jump in on Smash, and that is exactly what they did. Speaking about Smash, though, RUKH, they are smashing quite a few of those nades into the side of Wave. You can see all those knocks and elims coming through in the feed as well. So just love how these teams are not wasting a single moment. Unfortunately, Mo Esports, they found themselves a little bit of black hand. All the way up on towards the northern edge of zone. Both teams now just rotating up. Mozaro has actually been dropped. So it still leaves Elisio yet to find their way on forward. Things are looking pretty good now for Hainsley and Vortex. But they know exactly what is just waiting on the horizon. Elisio now going to try and focus onto Storm, trying to tank a little bit of that blue damage. And ideally, we want to see them make that breakaway. They've already lost Pedro. Oh, Elisio now in trouble. Down goes Koa as Hainsley reaches in. Oh my word, what is going on here? Come on, Mo. I think I got to root for Mo Esports even more from the beginning, right? Even before we get into that first match, of course, the zone is going to be shifting down towards farm. So it is going to be quite a bit of work still ahead now for Mo and the Black Hand. But Black Hand, they've been able to patch themselves back up. Ooh, Vortex trying to fish for a few of those hit markers. But you got to watch out. The long arm of Hand could find its way on through. Again, that knock finding itself up in towards Mazzaro. This is looking good for Mo Esports. Irrespective of who they are going up against, I like this approach from them. Ooh, look at Hainsley getting a little bit emboldened, rushing in, but unfortunately delivering themselves on a lovely silver platter. Vortex getting found there by Plaza as well, and this is now, oopsie, a little bit of a disaster, right? But Mo, they still have Elisio left, so not all hope is lost. But they're gonna have to get out of this blue because the blue zone is no one's friend. Even though we are only in that third phase. Elisio, you better get going while you still can. While Black Hand is still trying to get themselves patched up. A very interesting strategy coming through here from Mo Esports. You got to commend them for the effort, right? We've not yet seen a play like that come through from Mo. And as I said last phase, they just have this ability to find Black Hand, find RUKH Esports, to find the players from FALCONS White. And well, actually, it seems like it's starting to pay off. Speaking about FALCONS White, we've got them all the way towards that eastern side of the zone. Nice 2-2 split coming through here from them. So this will allow Psych to apply quite a bit of pressure now onto the remainder of Wave. Hey, Pratik, welcome. Alright, so 77k and plus 18 also getting ready for a little bit of action. RUKH Esports also now stepping up, but Pusher getting pushed away from the window, as I don't think they paid too much attention as to where they parked that vehicle. And meanwhile, Jack Digger, they are going to look to venture on forward. Elysior has at least made it out of the blue, but now rotating up into a very contentious region of that zone. Jack Digger and World of Battle, the two teams currently leading with regards to those eliminations, as we do say goodbye to Perks. Amjid locking it in. Curious to see exactly what the Virtual Gaming Squad are going to deliver on this front. I mean, they've got pretty good possession of the edge of zone, but now, ooh, with that zone shift centering up towards farm, that is going to make things a little bit more challenging. Mamad also looking for a bit of a pickup. They do find Danzo. Oh, look at the reach. Black Hand, of course, going to be sneaking in. Very interesting rotation coming through here from Black Hand. I mean, slightly leisurely. I mean, not looking too aggressive to get themselves situated. They have been able to just claw their way back on into the zone. Speaking about clawing, look at that nade onto my mud. Oh, Mozaro on the money, but now it's up to SAFG, waiting in the wing. I would do the same, SAFG. I can't really fault you for that play. That's going to be Vlaz on the rest of Black Hand, getting ready for the action. They are going to be looking to try and clear up at least the edge here, but Koa and Plaza, they know of better as they come rushing in. And with that, bringing an end to Castle Black. Again, valiant effort. You see these teams trying a few new things. I gotta say, I like it. I like it. Right, it's looking pretty good. But now we just gotta see all those strategies come to fruition properly. In the meanwhile, it's gonna be Virtual Gaming Squad and the World of Battle having a bit of an altercation over on towards that northwestern side. Chrono playing the tap-tap game there. Just popping a few tires. So 77k, they won't necessarily be able to utilize that vehicle to rotate up. But again, they are not that far away. The next few shifts aren't going to be that drastic in comparison. +18 also with a decent spot down towards the southern edge. I mean, especially looking at the terrain, it will allow them some pretty good angles. Right, more specifically up towards this northern side, as that's predominantly where the rest of the lobby finds themselves currently situated. So curious to see how +18 are going to be looking to just utilize that hard cover. Right, are they going to be able to find the angles they need to apply a little bit of pressure? Speaking about pressure, we are going to have at least 3 players with a bit of pressure on their shoulders. It's going to be Alicia from Mo. Then, of course, we got Broly from Spatial Esports, as well as Hazem coming through from Arab Golden. Now, 3 solos now just strewn throughout this map. Ooh, Elisio actually finding a bit of a play there on towards MG. They gotta watch out though, because well, yeah, Fares is right there in the wing, and that is a nice strike coming through from Mo. 12th place. I mean, yeah, good start. They did show up quite aggressively already in this match. I mean, they were looking to pressure the side there of Black Hand. You know, you gotta give them credit because that's bold. That's bold. But in the meanwhile, let's see what bold plays our squads now will have to make as we are awaiting that zone shift. Of course, Black Hand moving up, finding themselves, ooh, in a very sweaty spot. They've now rushed in onto camper here from Jack Digger. But now they are reliant on Koa to bring that res. Alright, so we do say goodbye to Jack Digger. 77k are going to be experiencing a little bit of difficulty out on that edge position as well. But now comes the push. Virtual Gaming Squad looking to get the jump in onto Black Hand. Blahs are already low. They got to patch themselves up. And this is why you don't necessarily rush on in. But well played. Virtual Gaming Squad managing to utilize the heck out of the Wizard Tower. Bring an end here to Blackhand. 7 eliminations though, out in 10th place. Not a bad finish. Would you say goodbye to Special Esports as well? Off they go, 4 eliminations. And now we hit that placement point territory. This is where the teams can add those eliminations onto the placement to see exactly how many additional points they'll be able to secure. Patiently awaiting the next shift to come through here from stage number 5. Teams already whittling away at the numbers. Remember back in phase 1, phase 2, by this point we had a slightly few more teams left, right? We normally have around about like 10, 11 teams at about this stage. So it's good to see the teams already stepping up a lot more aggressively coming through into phase number 3. Things still looking pretty good now for PLUSEIGHTEEN, 77k, Falcons, as well as Virtual Gaming Squad. As you can see, all 4 of those squads still sat with the entire team out on the battlefield. So Virtual Gaming Squad now having a bit of terrain to try and play with. Wave, they are going to be pressured quite a bit. You can see Falcons just waiting patiently in the wing, looking to see what that rotation is going to bring on through. But Psych here with a beautiful setup. But now for Psych to capitalize on that opportunity, they are going to need the reinforcements coming through from the rest of the crew, right? Because the moment Psych starts to try and make a bit of a run, oh, they are going to get spotted and pressured. Speaking about which, look at the hits now connecting in. Virtual Gaming Squad trying to decide where they are going to look to go with this. As far as is essentially the only player from their team situated within the zone. G though does make a successful push on forward. But yet, we are yet to see what the rest of the crew is going to be bringing on. N77k also now feeling a little bit of the heat as they inch further and further through from that western side. I like that position coming through from the world of battle. But how much are they going to like it with this next zone shift that is about to come on through? Ooh, yeah, maybe not all that much. RUKH Esports, they're going to be smiling, right? Because now they can gatekeep the heck out of that western edge. And specifically looking at the terrain, they're going to be looking to apply as much pressure as they can at this point. But this is going to be an important play though, for the side of 77k, right? They are trailing behind the world of battle with a few points. A little bit less than 100. But this is the opportunity to try and secure a few points. Get those placement points tallied on top of which. And of course, well, if they can bring a bit of a stop here to the world of battle, this could be looking pretty good for them. The world of battle, of course, also already sat with 6 winner chicken dinners. So just 2 behind that of Falcons and RUKH Esports. Ooh, speaking of Falcons, it is go time. Pressure not going to be stopping anytime soon. Virtual Gaming Squad also now making a bit of a last-ditch effort. Oh, but look at that. The vehicle's coming in clutch. As you say goodbye to the world of battle, 77k picking up their first official elimination in this phase. The world of battle, though, getting sent away with 7 to their name. So 77k, they've got quite a bit of a gap to try and close up now. So meanwhile, it's going to be Teak. Oh, getting tapped on through here by Zizal. But again, you got to remember that reload. So Falcons now solely reliant on Psych to kind of save their butts. But let's see if the reach will come through. It comes very, very close. Zol does take quite a bit of damage. But now it's going to be an opportunity, and Psych needs to be very, very careful. We still have numerous teams held in the vicinity. And any one of those could look to open fire and bring a bit of a stop here to the playoff Falcons. In the meanwhile, it's going to be 77k rushing straight on through Virtual Gaming Squad. But then they come under fire as +18 meet up with them in center zone. That is going to be the end of the road. At least 4 eliminations up. Adding to the points there from 5th place. It's going to award them a decent helping. Alright, so now it's going to be that fight between the final 4 teams to see who's going to be taking that winner chicken dinner. It's between +18 RUKH Falcons and a Wave. As we do say goodbye to Zazal, and down to the final 3 we go. Wave goodbye to them. RUKH Esports, now with 6 eliminations up, 3 players remaining. Well, and right as we say that, we do experience the first knock coming through. Now, is that going to hamper the approach coming through here from RUKH Esports? Well, we don't quite know. I mean, Pusher has a great opportunity to secure that res, as the tree will be providing sufficient cover for them. But you got to watch out, as the rest of +18 are now also going to be looking to try and close that gap, right? Try and close the distance. Looking to find a bit of a cheeky opportunity. I mean, they are feeling very, very confident coming through with still that full squad to play with. And now, Falcons, they're going to start to make their dash up to zone as well. You can already see Psych now being met with a bit of the aggression. Teak holding back ever so slightly to see if it's going to be safe to rotate up just yet. Well, I guess Psych has given the go-ahead. This could be a very odd opportunity now for both RUKH Esports and Falcons actually to get a bit of a grip over onto +18. Right, to look to constrict their options. Because +18, they will really have to keep their heads on the swivel. I mean, they have a decent split to try and utilize exactly that. But let's see whether or not it is going to work out for them. We've got XENON on the front line. E-Flex held just towards their south. And of course, Nagato and Torm are going to be focusing their efforts around towards the Falcon side of the zone. Slowly it all starts to build. We're also patiently waiting for that zone to shift. It's going to bring us to the end of the 7th phase and take us straight into stage number 8. Ooh. I like what +18 are looking to cook up here. They do find default. And again, a very favorable shift, especially now for +18. But unfortunately, RUKH Esports, Falcons, they are not going to be giving up anytime soon. They are going to be looking to just lay on as much pressure as they can. Not, of course, if XENON can help them, right? Just finding themselves out in the flames. Nagato also now getting spotted out as the connections are made. You see that HP bar taking quite a bit of a dip. Falcons definitely no strangers to a little bit of a challenging play. But out comes the utilities. RUKH now going to try and reach over this ridge line. They've been able to just inch their way up into zone. Default with a quick retreat back into safety. But slowly they are going to be looking to gather as much information as they can. And now it's going to be go time as Default tries to lure them out, opening up quite a bit of an opportunity. E-Flex goes down. Oh, XENON back on fire again. But the pressure is getting a little bit too much. And this is a very comfortable spot now for both RUKH and Falcons, right? They found themselves in this situation many a time before. I mean, +18, they are yet to find themselves a winner chicken dinner on this map. Let's see, is this going to be the game in which they accomplish exactly that? Now the tables are slowly starting to turn. RUKH Esports already up to 8. We've got Falcons now onto 5. Ooh. Good play on Tarami. I mean, Nagato coming through with a beautiful DP28 spray down. So that does bring in a little bit of a complication. Let's see if that is going to be enough, though, to bring an end here to the Falcons. Essentially a 2v1v1 in favor of +18. They have got quite a bit of a spread, right? Nagato getting a little bit risky on the edge. They do secure the spray, and that is going to be Falcons out of here. Down they go. Walking away with a lovely 6 eliminations. Tobe now getting found, and this is the opportunity for RUKH Esports to hit that final nail into the coffin. They just got to find themselves Nagato, and it's a 1v1 showdown. Pusher versus Nagato. As you can see, Nagato ready for the fight, right? Ensuring that they've got that HP bar properly secured. Now comes the spray, taking quite a bit of a beating, and down they go. RUKH Esports securing themselves the very first winner chicken dinner right here in phase number 3. What a play. What a play. See, we're going to have those stats in as well. Of course, they finished their match on 10 eliminations. So that does put them on a lovely, glorious 20-pointer. What a way to kick off phase number 3. I mean, well, there we have it. 2652 coming through with regards of damage. They've only taken 1,082 damage in turn. So great play coming through here from RUKH Esports. Very, very healthy conversion rate. What's up, boys? Yep, very exciting match. Of course, the first match of the day done and dusted, right? RUKH Esports, well, winging their way all the way to that lovely winner chicken dinner, as we saw those 10 eliminations coming through as well. So RUKH Esports, I think it is safe to assume that they are going to be mounting quite a bit of a push to try and get themselves all the way up to, well, potentially that contention with the PMGC points, right? As we know, before we head into this match, there was about 105-point difference between RUKH Esports and, of course, then the players from FALCONS White. But, well, now, I mean, they've potentially just closed that gap with 9 points. So, you know, it's tough. It's tough. But, of course, speaking about tough, we are going to be taking a look at our few highlights, right, from this past match, just to relive a few of the amazing moments. So without any further delay, let's get right into it. Well, there we go. Very exciting start to the proceedings here on day number 1 of our lovely, lovely phase 3. Of course, well, I mean, so a majority of the nerves now being settled, at least for 4 of our groups. As we know, one more group yet to step in for the very first match of this phase. So I'm curious to see exactly how Group E are going to be stepping out onto this battlefield as we get a little bit closer to match number 2. But before we get there, of course, we need to take a look at the points. We need to take a look at the stats. We need to take a look at so many other things before we eventually get over on towards Miramar. But yes, very, very exciting stuff coming through here. RUKH Esports doing their kind of thing right here. Of course, speaking of which, let's take a look at these stats. It is going to be, well, nearly a clean sweep coming through from RUKH, as we can see Porsche locking in the most eliminations, the most damage, one of which has come through thanks to utility. And of course, Eugene then coming through with the longest hit in this match, 377 meter hit. SAFG covering the most ground there for the side of Castle Black. But a very, very exciting play. I mean, RUKH Esports definitely going to be looking to set the bar exceptionally high, especially right out of the gate. But of course, now I think the big question comes as to how long will they be able to maintain that consistency, because we're yet to see what a team like Falcons White are going to be looking to do in response, right? As we know, Falcons White, I think they're also just trying to get a bit of an assessment as to what the approach is for this phase. So we could see quite a bit of a change up moving into match 2, match 3 and onwards. But especially now looking at RUKH Esports, right, they are going to be playing match 1, 2, 3 and 5. So once we get to our second Miramar of the day, they won't have an opportunity to play there. But of course, well, they'll be joining us back in the very last one of the day. Speaking of Erangels, right, let's take a look at these stats, these breakdowns, as it's 2652 damage coming through from RUKH, converting 10 eliminations out of that. But if you look at the overall statistics, I gotta say, Black Hand, I mean, they stepped up quite aggressively here, finding 7 eliminations out of 1375. So they are definitely going to be walking away with the strongest conversion rate at the end of this first game. That is looking pretty exciting there for them. I mean, Falcons, the World of Battle, very consistent with their plays there. Plus 18, causing quite a bit of damage. Finding themselves those 5 eliminations, rather, out of all of that. So, you know, sometimes it's a bit of a trade-up, right? Teams locking in a lot of damage, but unfortunately, you know, the terrain, the situation plays out in such a way that they're not necessarily able to secure all those eliminations either. But speaking of elims, we are going to be having the players here from RUKH Esports then secured on lovely double digits with a grand total here of 20 points for this first match. Of course, plus 18 and Falcons both sat on 11 points, taking a slightly different approach to getting themselves secured on that. But of course, we got to take a look at the lower end of this page, right? It is going to be Mo, Smash, and Greedy that are going to be warming up our lovely donut shop. So, well, we got some fresh donuts. Fresh donuts. Yes, donuts. If you don't know what donuts are, I mean, I also don't know what they are. But donuts, right? We got a few fresh ones of those as well, aside from the donuts, right? But yeah, so excited to see what these teams are going to be bringing in. Whether or not we're going to have a little bit of an adjustment coming through in the remaining matches of the day. In the meanwhile, we shall take a look onto the players here from +18. I mean, this was a very surprising play coming through from them on Erangel. I mean, after this, they find themselves at all around about that 10th place with a grand total of 92 points that they've been able to find on Erangel. So this second place finish coming through for +18, I do think that it really means quite a bit of for them, right? I think it really boosts the team morale, and we could see even more exciting bits of action coming through from them. Of course, we are yet to venture over onto the lovely Miramar to see what the teams are going to be doing there. Of course, patiently awaiting the arrival of Group E. As we know, Group D are sitting this one out, so that is going to be Arab Golden, Black Hand, Clear Vision, as well as +18. And of course, we are going to be seeing the players then from RUKH, Superpower, Vampires, and XENON step out onto the battlefield for the first time in this phase. Now, I'm quite excited to see exactly what RUKH and XENON are going to be bringing through here, as I think we could be in for quite a bit of a surprise, but we'll have to wait. In the meanwhile, let's take a look at the stats coming through here from Falcons White. You can see Psych again just walking away with so much of the carnage here, finding themselves those 4 eliminations, the 3 assists. AXA actually being the player taking the least amount of damage, but also dealing the least amount of damage. Only 49 in total in this match. Wow. I mean, Teak also just squeaking through there on 62. So, yeah, a very, very odd thing to look at. But, you know, with Psych there, I mean, I think they're fine. I think they're fine. And of course, it was only the first match of this phase. So there's 25 other matches. So there's quite a bit to see still to come through from these teams. But of course, as you can see, as the clock was alluding to, we are, of course, very, very close to hopping straight into Erangel to see exactly what that flight path, what the zone is going to be bringing through, what these teams will have to work with. And of course, if you've got any thoughts, any predictions, anything that you'd like to share, game-related, of course, be sure to let me know in the chat, right? So if there's any particular team that you think is going to be taking the winner chicken that are moving into the lovely Miramar, let me know. Hit me up. Of course, looking at the stats that we have so far, Falcons White, Virtual Gaming Squad, both teams sitting on pretty even scores with regards to those winner chicken dinners, as they do find themselves on 4 each. But of course, well, we got to take a look at the players as well, right? It is going to be the players here from RUKH Esports, all the way down in 8th place with regards to the overall Miramar performances. As we can see then, we've got RUKH and, or rather, Pusher and Psych with their respective plays. Now, this, of course, is the performance that we just saw over on Erangel. But I want to see how this is going to translate moving over into the desert. Are we going to have them maybe look to up the ante? I mean, Falcons White, a very proficient team when it comes to the map of Miramar. They've been able to secure themselves 100 eliminations so far. Virtual Gaming Squad sitting on 102. So I think there's a little bit of competition that could potentially be coming through from them. Of course, I'm also looking forward to seeing exactly what Special Esports are going to be bringing to the table here, because they are also yet to find themselves a winner chicken dinner. They are the only team within the top 10 for Miramar that has not yet been able to secure themselves a winner chicken dinner. Of course, they are sitting on 129 total points, 74 eliminations. But I think there could be quite a bit of a gap, quite a bit of a push coming through between our top 3 teams, especially with regards to Miramar. So I'm looking at Falcons White, the Virtual Gaming Squad, and RUKH. It's going to be between the 3 of them. That's who I think could potentially be taking that winner chicken dinner. If you agree, let me know in the chat. If you disagree, tell me who. And then while you're at it, right, you should let me know by how many eliminations do you think they're going to be taking it, right? You can see Damar coming through with the fault and Rami. A bit of a shout out there going to them. Well, we do know that RUKH are going to be stepping up to the battlefield. Of course, RUKH Esports coming through here on a lovely 99 points. 77k also on 99 points. So, yeah, we could maybe see a bit of a gap now. You're right, a little bit of separation being created between those 2 teams. Speaking of separation, it is time for the players to separate themselves from that plane, as we are going to get ready for a bit of a jump. So the flight path is going to be starting us down on that southern edge, as we are currently approaching the lovely Los Leones and the rest. But based on where we are heading, we are looking at the slight opposite of what we had just over on Erangel. So on Erangel, it was a little bit more west this time. It's a little bit more east, but still allowing decent access to positions like Chumacera, Puerto, Impala, Pecado, San Martin, Hacienda del Patron. I mean, even La Cabrera is still going to be quite accessible. So curious to see how these teams are going to be looking to get themselves situated. So if you got any thoughts, drop them down. In the meanwhile, we shall patiently await the arrival of our zone. See where these teams will have to rotate. And of course, well, who's going to find themselves smack dab center zone? The Falcons, in the meanwhile, they'll be going over towards their usual spot, right? Over towards Valle del Mar. 77k. They are going to be occupying Puerto. Hey, hey, hey. But it's interesting to see... Well, actually, to not see the players from XENON going for position towards the south there of Los Leones. Of course, the lovely southern zone coming through here as well. But where on earth did XENON decide to go? Ah, there they are. Alright, never mind. I'm just blind. Don't mind me. They've decided to go over towards well, nowhere really. It's like in the middle of nowhere, right? It's there between water treatment, crater fields, and of course a little bit of that San Martin. Curious to see where exactly they are going to be looking to rotate up towards. A nice little bit of a change up with regards to those drop locations. Virtual Gaming Squad, though, they are going to be dipping straight into Chumacera. So RUKH, the World of Battle, also just a little bit further up ahead of them. Of course, now Vampires. What a map for the Vampires to start off their Phase 3. Right. A map filled with sunlight. Let's see, are they going to be hugging the compounds? Are going to be trying to keep themselves in the shade? I mean, maybe that's more of an applicable play when it comes to the map of Sanhok. Not quite sure, but we'll find out very, very soon. In the meanwhile, they are going to be presented with a beautiful opportunity now here in San Martin. They are somewhat uncontested. We do see the players from, well, Superpower, holding on to a bit of a spread just within the vicinity. Greedy also having a very comfortable position all the way up in towards Al Azhar. So I want to see how these teams are going to be looking to play through the current situation here. RUKH Esports, it looks a bit different as well, right? The team's definitely changing up the plays from what we've seen come through in phase 1 and phase 1 and 2. Well, dying upon the truth. I mean, there's not much else other than looting going on right now. I mean, that's kind of the phase that we're in right now, right? That is what happens, because looking at how these teams dropped, no one dropped a heart. No one's on top of each other. They're all just keeping their respective distances. So in a short little while, they are gonna look to change that, right? Once they've got everything that they feel they need, or the timer runs out, one of the two, you know, something is definitely gonna happen. Yes, Moise, did you miss me? Alright, so I've got Castle Black all the way up towards that far northern side. Torre Ahumada. Goodness gracious, that is quite some distance away from Zoran. In fact, Castle Black, our most distant team, they're going to have to cover quite a bit of ground. But if they follow down this road, that could actually lead them right into the side there of RUKH Esports. Just kidding, I know maybe the map. I also maybe know the map. I'm not quite sure. I think this is Sanhok, is it not? Or is it Vikendi? This looks a little bit like Vikendi. I'm not quite sure. Could be either or. In the meanwhile, it's gonna be Jack Digger making a bit of an approach, creeping their way through in towards lovely Los Leones, or at least the northern territories. You gotta be careful, because as we can see up on the mini-map, it is gonna be Smash, right, just up on that hilltop. So Arif could definitely look to arrive with quite a bit of aggression. Oh, nice push coming through. Camper, I think out of Jack Tigger. Camper is definitely going to be the one to watch. I mean, not that the name implies anything, right? But Camper performed quite well in the previous phase. Already today, just in that first match, we've also seen Camper looking a lot more determined to cause a bit of chaos. I mean, I'm on board for chaos, right? I'm gonna take it. If they want to bring in all the chaos and carnage they can find, bring it. It's Miramar. Might as well. Right, so dying upon the truth. Right, seeing that you're enjoying the looting phase all that much, who are you here to support? We know that Moise is going to be supporting the Falcons, as Blackhand are not playing this match. But who are you here to support? Give that shout out in the chat. Let's see. Give your predictions as well. If you know, who do you think is going to be clutching up? Who's going to be taking that win a chicken dinner? You think it's going to be Falcons? Do you think it's going to be Virtual? Raad, potentially, maybe? Could it be XENON? Maybe RUKH Esports? Could we see a back-to-back winner chicken dinner? Ooh, nice. Cacao coming through with a very warm greeting onto the side there. Smash. Hey, Mo Elicio. There we go. Mo Esports getting even more supporters. I'm here to support DK. Oh, thanks, Halloween. I'll take it. I'm an absolute noob in this game. Not really. A bot. I'm a bot. Oh, Alicia is your friend. Then, well, that's pretty awesome. Well, I'm pretty sure that Alicia will appreciate the support coming through. You're giving them some shout-outs in the chat. But no pressure. I mean, looking at MEA Esports' current positioning, they are approaching the zone coming through from that east, or northwestern side, just looking to rotate around San Martin. In the meanwhile, speaking about San Martin, they're essentially the only team there, right? Everyone else has head all the way down in towards Los Leones and the surrounding areas. Falcons coming through with a very comfortable rotation there as well, as they are just making their way through Minas del Valle, heading upwards and onwards, and boy, do they have a long way to go, all the way up in towards La Bendita. Oh, let's see what this is going to hold for the teams, though. I mean, already, as you can see, a heavily contested and congested zone. But that's what we like to see. I mean, Miramar, you need to bring all the hot and sweaty bits of action you can find. Let's see. In the meanwhile, Greedy, close to center. I wouldn't necessarily say the most advantageous building to occupy. They can't exactly see over that ridge. It might turn into a bit of an uphill battle, but in the meanwhile, it's going to be the Vampires and Wave getting ready for a bit of a standoff against a lot of space currently separating these two teams. But you can see Zazal. Oh! They're not going to wait around. Instead, they are going to be jumping at every available opportunity. But look at Yezen. So Wave already off to a little bit of a bumpy start. Only with 2 players up. Shout out to Licio. Yes, the previous PMPL Europe MVP. 100%. Alphalugi, the MVP of this building. Look at that. Right, they are on top of the roof. In PUBG terms, that means on top of the world. Not really, but let's go with yes. In the meanwhile, it's going to be the Virtual Gaming, rather, pushing up on towards Arthur. A very isolated position here from Arthur. Oh, there we go. So the World of Battle now going to be battling with only 3 players, as they do lose their first. Not quite sure why the off-angle position coming through on that one, though. But Virtual Gaming Squad, they're not going to say no, as they get most of the action here. Right, 1 elimination up already. So we've said goodbye to about 5 players so far. Let's see whether or not Special Esports are going to be looking to sneak a bit of a cheeky hit on the edge. Ooh, well, speak of Elicio, here they are. Going toe-to-toe now with RUKH Esports and the rest of Mo. Ooh, default! Getting dropped on down. I like this. I like this. Ah, taka. Oof. There we go. Pusher. Well, making quick work of that. It's always quite challenging to hit a bit of a to hit those lovely hits with the shoddy over that range. But now the rest of Mo, they got to be very, very careful here. Not only do they have RUKH Esports to worry about, but of course the addition of XENON sneaking in on the side. Talk about a third-party opportunity. So Hazy now finding themselves in a little bit of a challenging spot. We do say goodbye to Pedro. Oh, SAFG goes down yet again. Very similar to what we had in that previous match. Down goes Vortex. No, Hainsley. Come on. Come on. You gotta clutch this one, but it's gonna be Marshall to push on through. No. That is what Marshall said to Hainsley as they run them right on down. Mo Esports, the first team out, 1 elimination. At least they got a point. Right? They got a point. It could have been worse. It could have been worse. In the meanwhile, it is going to be XENON and RUKH. Now trying to figure out who is going to be the first team to rotate up, at least from this northern side. Could we potentially see XENON looking to push through on towards RUKH? Well, Wave going to be following hard on the heels there of Mo as they get sent away in the 15th. Unfortunately, not a single point to speak of. Let's see what XENON can do here. Ooh, Marshall going to be rolling down the hillside. Meanwhile, it's going to be Virtual Gaming Squad getting ready for a bit of action right here onto Jack Digger. Let's see if that V6 here from Camper is going to work. Well, no, never mind. It is Fares after all coming through here from Virtual. Oh, that looked so effortless. But well played to Virtual Gaming Squad, taking down yet another team. Now we've already said goodbye to 3, as we are left with 13 teams. So Virtual and the Vampires, the VV squads, coming through on a lovely 3 elims. RUKH Esports, also going to be vying for 3, but they also only have 3 players left. So curious to see how RUKH Esports are going to look to play through the remainder of this match, as they do find themselves up to the north, situated up in towards that lovely crater. And we do have the addition of the Vampires, the World of Battle, Greedy, all now situated on the edge. So that is going to be applying quite a bit of pressure. But in the meanwhile, let's see what Morteza can do. Speak of the pressure, and you will find it right on screen. XENON now reach in over towards RUKH Esports. Going to be Pusher and Eugene. I'm trying to find a little bit of that hard cover. Trying to keep themselves well ahead of any potential additional damage they could be heading up towards them. But of course, well, moving away from one team only pushes you closer to the others, as that is going to be a very similar situation down towards the southern side, right? Virtual Gaming Squad now getting the knock on towards Fares. Was that Fares? Yes, Fares. Falcons are going to be swooping in behind 77k. Oof. Curious to see what Amjid is going to be looking to do on the edge. At least Amjid has a little bit of company. They've got a few reinforcements. I believe Fares are going to come back pretty soon. Yep, there we go. Virtual Gaming Squad back onto a full piece. But a good decent spread coming through there from the side of RUKH as well. Let's see if RUKH are going to be looking to capitalize and maybe utilize a little bit of that western positioning. In the meanwhile, we shall look down south as the Falcons start the approach, heading up towards that zone. Alright, so now things... This is essentially that quiet before the storm, right? Just before Ilias is about to get rushed by the Falcons as they come swooping on in. Axel taking quite a bit of damage, but look at the onslaught here. Buncher locking it down, and that is night. Well, good night. That is what they just said to them. Now it's going to be Black Lost and Arif looking to put a little bit of a gap in between. Oh, beautiful jump here from Arif, but unfortunately that pesky boulder gets in the way. In the meanwhile, Falcons now going to be looking to capitalize on a bit of that beautiful elevation they have at their disposal. 77k, also yet to properly secure themselves towards that southern edge. But Virtual, this could be a bit of an opportunity now onto the side. They are special. Just hanging in the wing. What's up, Mac? All right, here we go, Castle Black. Let's see what they have for us. They're gonna find themselves in a very difficult spot. I mean, they got 77k and the Falcons to worry about. Ooh, there we go. Yep, Joker. I wasn't kidding. It's gonna be a pretty sturdy play. But it does seem like Castle Black, at least for the time being, will be able to evade the majority of the shots coming through. Oh, yep, never mind. Joker goes right on down. Castle Black. This is going to be risky. At least the edge of zone is just within their reach. But so is the position of the rest of the teams. Right, as you can see, 77k now trying to find it all, and look at that Thor swinging the hammer. Just uprooting the side there of Castle Black and shipping them right back to the lobby. Beautiful, beautiful play. But it might be short-lived as the Falcons are getting ready for a little bit of action here. The Falcons again in a position they are very, very comfortable in. Right, they got a bit of that elevation to try and play off of. Now looking to leverage that down onto the side of 77k. But of course, 77, I think they might be a little bit stressed at this point because they can almost feel that zone just up ahead of them. But they still have so much distance to cover to get themselves properly and decently secured. They definitely will have to try and at least blaze a bit of a pathway moving forward. In the meanwhile, things up into the northeastern side looking pretty dang contentious. It's going to be Greedy and XENON. Oh, Delhup finds the spray up into Lazy Boy. And that is also then going to be the end of the virtual gaming squad team as a more special kind of had a nice bit of a surprise prepped for them. Greedy going to be closing it up here as well. Just looking to find a nice little bit of a situation here. XENON now being reduced down to only one. We got Sengate trying to hide out in that crater. Now joining the players there from RUKH Esports. But still RUKH and the Vampires going to be hanging over towards that western side. Patiently awaiting a bit of an opportunity. In the meanwhile, there's going to be Falcons and 77k. Relentless in their efforts. Both teams trying to secure a few eliminations, but at the same time trying to secure themselves a decent position up in towards this next phase. And this is the kind of contention that we want to see. We want to see the teams really have to work for every single opportunity, every single angle. RUKH now going to be jumping at the chance. Ooh. So are they going to come in with a few cloths here, looking to wipe away the sunscreen? Ooh, in the meanwhile, we do say goodbye to 77k. As the Falcons have been able to get the better of them. Of course, the Vampires hiding inside. I mean, promise you I'm onto something here. Seen them use the strategy a few times before, but you know, buildings they can't stop flames, as Ninja is going to experience that firsthand. Reno and the rest of the RUKH now getting ready for the push, prepping up the play. But of course, if they make enough noise, it could also then draw the attention there of RUKH as well as XENON. But meanwhile, we also then await that zone shift to come through. Well, at least for the time being, the push here from RUKH onto the Vampires is warranted, as they will have to kind of just continue on this trend to get themselves into this next phase. Fortunately for them, not a super aggressive zone shift coming through just yet, but in the meanwhile now, ooh! Here we have it! Good trade-off on either end. Vampires and RUKH picking up the pace! It seems like the Vampires are slowly just training away the side here of RUKH. Zuxi gonna be the last remaining hopeful. Not exactly the most opportune bit of angle, and there we have it. Easy tap. And that is Hazard just slamming the door in their face. Off goes RUKH. And unfortunately, not a single point. Yes, Miramar is aside from being a hardcore map, it is also my favorite one, right? I enjoy it quite a bit. Watching it, playing it, saying the name. Yeah, whatever. But speaking of which, let's see what RUKH Esports are going to be doing down in the crater. As that zone is going to be limiting their options quite a bit. They've got about 2 minutes left. But Greedy, well, they're staying very true to their name here today. At least in this match. Ready with those 5 eliminations up. If you recall the previous match, they weren't able to find themselves a single point. So this already is a considerable step up in comparison. Getting those lovely jitters, those lovely nerves out of the way. Now it is going to be go time. Hey, hey, hey. I like the angles being held here, of course. Well, you still got to watch out for RUKH Esports, right? They're not going to go down without a fight. And now Delhub finds a quick trade up onto Porsche. Eugene now capitalizing on the opportunity to get that HP bar as full as they can find it. But a lot of work already being done here by Greedy. Beautiful nade there from Senke to play the upset. And this could be the complete turning point. It's a 1v1v1, right? Eugene versus Senke versus Delhub. But who's going to be the player to walk out of this crater? Hey, what's up there, Fury? Pretty dang good. It's Phase 3, Match 2. Woohoo! Phase 6, about to hit Phase 7. I mean, what more could we ask for, right? We've got all the PUBG Mobile action we could need from the Africa region happening right here. Senke coming up with a beautiful spray. Seal the fate there for Hemo, but fortunately Greedy, they've been able to bounce back to a two-piece. It's going to be Nasser and Delhub. This could be exactly the kind of approach they need. Seeing that we've got the Vampires now just hanging in the wing, looking to apply quite a bit of pressure. And I mean, good opportunity now for the Vampires to become quite a bit of a menace. Right, they have the elevation, they have the angle, but they don't quite yet have that position within the zone. But I don't think they're going to be stressing about it all too much just yet. And meanwhile, it's going to be Falcons, Special, and Superpower getting into a little bit of action while we continue with the carnage. The chaos here. Senke steps up and delivers. Oh, goodness. Swooping the entirety, or sweeping rather, the entirety there of Greedy right under the rug. Special also finding their special spot in that lobby. They will get sent on back. But we've now hit placement point territory, right? Vampires going to be looking to wing it through. 7 eliminations already to their name. Falcons are sitting with 6. But they've got only 1 player left. Oh, danger, danger. Yep. Immense danger coming through there for Senke as we do say goodbye to the Falcons. 6 eliminations, but 7th place. Ooh, XENON. 5 eliminations in 6th place. So continuously looking to add on those points. Now it's going to be up to Eugene to see if they can make this dash. Good off-angle play coming through here from the World of Battle. Looking to capitalize on quite a bit of an opportunity, but you got to watch out. Oh, yep, those nades, they do slide downhill. Mohammed forgetting that the blue zone does what it does. It does get the better of them. Smash also getting it backed up. Out they go. Ooh, Superpower. I'm going to be feeling a little bit of that heat. As the zone now gets even smaller. And then we go. We do say goodbye to Eugene. So the World of Battle adding their first elimination to the board. Well, scratch that. Make it 2. So the World of Battle now. A little bit of a late start with the aggression. But of course, well, any start is better than no start. Oh, here we go. What's up, Jihad? We got Krona now trying to play a little bit of hide and seek behind the tree. But there's only so many options available to them. And this could be now the opportunity for Superpower to try and, well, overpower the opposition and secure themselves a little bit of a potential victory here. We're now playing a pretty good game in the previous phase. Oh, White Boy though on the money with that nade onto Ninja. That one was on the money. Wow. Great utilization of the elevation coming through there from Superpower. I mean, White Boy definitely showing us what their superpower is. It is going to be the reach of utility. Oh, Unab's superpower is getting caught out in the open. Very unfortunate, but I guess it's going to happen at some point. Superpower now already up to 9. But how many more points will they be able to secure moving forward, right? We are just patiently awaiting, well, the inevitable, because we're at the end of Stage 8. As we know, Stage 9, there's no more zone, no more nothing. It is just going to be that blue zone closing in, constricting. Just doing so much damage. But Vampires have a pretty good fighting chance. They still have that full squad. Not necessarily the craziest possession of terrain here. I mean, Superpower can still look to leverage that against them. We still have Krona hanging in the wing, so there's still quite a bit of opportunity for some upsets to be had right here. But as we've seen, right, usually, not always, but usually, the team that comes through with a full squad, they have a very high probability of taking that winner chicken dinner. As we do say goodbye to the world of battle. Out there going third with 2 eliminations up. Superpower with a bit of a flex now. 9 elims. We do find the Vampires sitting on 10, so even more of a flex. Hazard going to be leading that charge. Oh, this could be the play. White Boy in trouble. Down goes White Boy, and that is the Vampires. Well, securing themselves the lovely winner chicken dinner. I think it is safe to say that the Vampires, they put more than enough sunblock on because they were holding out in the open for quite some time. So well played. Vampires rising up. Amazing effort from their end. But again, very, very exciting stuff. Are we going to see the details? Are we going to have those lovely bits and pieces being displayed on screen? Well, it seems the answer is no. As well, we'll have to wait till after the highlights to see exactly what the kind of stats are for our teams. But as we know, Vampires closing it off there with 12 eliminations. Superpower playing a very, very strong game, going through on 9 eliminations. So definitely, I think that they've been looking to flex. You can see definitely quite a lot more of that homework being done coming through here, especially looking at the performance that we just had come through from the side of Superpower. I mean, this puts them now on a collective 65 points that they've been able to secure on the map of Miramar itself, coming through with 47 eliminations. So this definitely adds to that. But Vampires, I mean, also a very surprising play, right? They've now been able to secure themselves a grand total of 77 points in total. But speaking about surprising, let's take a look at those highlights. Well, there we go. Very, very exciting. bit of action coming through here. We've now seen all our teams step up to the plate, right? We've had every single group play a match here today. Of course, well, everyone except for Group E, they've already played 2 matches. So we're excited to see exactly, of course, what is going to happen. Well, Group E and D, right? Both those groups have already played 1 match each. C, B, and A, well, they've already played 2. And as we know, well, we need to add the 3rd one to the tally. But before we get there, we need to take a look and see exactly what the match point situation is. All these lovely damage graphs that we've got, and of course a little bit of the stats as well, right? We need to break down all the pretty sweaty action that we just had come through from our teams. But again, a very strong performance coming through from the Vampires, winging their way all the way up into 12 eliminations. And of course, as we can see, Hazard and Malik are going to be ripping it out here for the squad. Hazard picking up those 7 eliminations. Alpha Logi, though, is going to come through with the most damage, 2 of which has come through from utility. So good play on their end as well. Then, of course, Puncher, well, traveling nearly 12 kilometers in this past match. Now, that seems pretty fair, pretty reasonable, looking at the map of the map of Miramar, but also based on just the amount of distance that they had to travel, to cover, rather. I mean, usually they go over towards that southwestern side, and of course that is where they went in this last match. So it makes sense to see Puncher crossing that vast of a distance in this last game. But of course, as we know, that is just our stats, just our quick little bit of a breakdown. Next up, we are going to be taking a look to see, of course, what those damage graphs look like, right? How much carnage were these teams able to cause? As we know, Vampires coming through on 12 eliminations, Superpower coming through then on 9, but then there's quite a bit of a drop-off, right? I mean, even Greedy, well, they locked in only elimination, so I think it kind of fits with their name, which already is a great start in comparison to how they were performing in that first match. But, of course, we need to see how much damage accompanies all these eliminations that our respective teams were able to secure. As we know, a few of our higher elimination earners went out a little bit earlier on, right? And then, of course, a few of the teams that made it into the placement point territory didn't get as many eliminations, but at least they still find themselves a few of those additional points, right, coming through from placement. So, speaking of which, let's take a look at the board. It is going to be the Vampires now sat on a very comfortable 22 points. Then, of course, Superpower coming through on lovely 15. And then, this is where we see the rest, right? RUKH coming through on 8. We got the World of Battle, Smash, and XENON, as well as FALCONS, all coming through on 7 points each. So again, quite a bit of a drop-off coming through here with regards to those points, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? Of course, Greedy, as I said, capitalizing on only those eliminations, essentially bringing in exactly the same as the Blaze there from FALCONS White. But, well, it still manages to keep them up on that first page, rather. RUKH, Castle Black, Jack Digger, and a Wave are going to be instead stepping into our lovely donut shop, as they are going to be walking away from this match with not a single point to show for it. It is unfortunate, but at least, well, they'll have a nice few donuts to work with. I mean, Mo Esports, as we saw our first team out, they managed to get that elimination secured as well. 77k, also then picking up those lovely 4 points. So, you know, it's a bit of a trade-off. It's a bit of a trade-off, but moving towards our next match, right, which is going to be the lovely, lovely Sanhok, there is going to be ample opportunity for the teams to get nice and aggressive, aside from the participants coming through from Group C, right? So that is going to be Castle Black, Smash Team, as well as the players from the World of Battle, and of course, well, Virtual Gaming Squad. They're in Group C, so they're going to be sitting it out for match number 3, but we'll be welcoming the players from Group D back onto the battlefield so that they can show us exactly what they can bring to the jungle. And of course, well, A, B, and E are also then going to be playing it out. So really looking forward to seeing how these teams are going to be performing. Now, as we know, FALCONS White, based on what we've been having come through from the first 2 phases, right, phase 1, phase 2, or week 1, week 2, whichever you want to call it, they've been quite dominant when it comes to the map of Sanhok, right? They've been proving to be quite a bit of a menace. Now, well, 3 winner chicken that is up and 101 points. That is pretty dang steep. But of course, well, we got to take a look back at what we had happen in this past match just a few mere moments ago. The performance coming through here between Hazard and Unab. Unab all the way from Superpower, and of course, well, Hazard all the way from the Vampires, right? The Vampires coming through with 653 versus 552, and of course, finding themselves serial eliminations versus the 5 that we saw getting secured there from Unab. Now, that means that both these players were essentially the carriers from their team, right? Vampires finishing on a grand total of 12, And, well, 7 of which, as we saw coming through there from Hazard. Looking at Superpower, they did find themselves 9. And this is essentially how they got there, right? Berlin, unfortunately, not being able to find any eliminations, but they did, well, find quite a bit of damage, right? 360 damage, only taking 100. Now, that 100 was just enough to take them down. White Boy Alpha Logi coming through with a very even contribution here. Una definitely leading the charge, but as you can see, Alpha Logi essentially just softening up the competition and then, you know, working their way through the rest. Blind, yeah, you did get the first guess right. You did get it all the way back in match number 1 because you said, RUKH, we're going to be taking that winner chicken dinner. Let me just get all the way back up to your message. Yes, RUKH win the first, and well, that's exactly what we saw happen. You didn't get any prediction for match number 2, but, well, you still have the opportunity now for match number 3, right? We are going to be heading straight into the jungle to see who's going to be those teams getting up close and sweaty because, well, that's what happens in Sanhok, right? There's not a lot of space for these teams to maneuver through. It's completely different in comparison to what we see, for instance, on a map like Miramar. So excited to see what these teams are going to be bringing in. Of course, as we know, right, on a map this size, flight path doesn't matter all too much. It's more important to see exactly where that zone is going to be going and, of course, where these teams find themselves. Speaking of which, let's hop on the plane and see exactly where these teams will have to go. Well, we do have a nice little northern flight path coming through here, but I'm curious to see exactly what that zone is going to be bringing in. Is it going to give us a lovely southern shift, a lovely northern complementary shift, or is it going to go for something kind of in between? Right, we have once or twice seen a rather crazy zone coming through here on Sanhok. Fortunately, it's something that doesn't happen all too often. So there's a lot more consistency coming through with regards to Sanhok and the way that it kind of shifts on up. Blind, don't say that out loud. Don't say that you weren't here. Just say you've been watching all this time. You've just been lurking or something like that. I guess that helps as well. Alright, so now we await the zone to be revealed. It doesn't seem like we have any particular hot drops, which is a nice adjustment. I mean, we have, of course, in the previous phases, seen a little bit of hot drop action coming through in towards Paradise. But it seems having Group C sitting this one out does change up those positions. RUKH instead are going to be taking a very wide spread, which is a little bit different, but sure, we'll take it. We'll take it. We do have Ra'ad and the Vampires relatively close. You were lurking around quietly. There we go. There we go. All right, so we'll just whisper this one. All right, we're not going to say it all too loud. And also coming through with a prediction saying the Falcons will win this one. All right, we got it. Got it. All right, so seeing that that's now handled, we are going to be taking a look here at +18 and Arab Golden. Both teams having a bit of a dance off, a bit of a this way and that. Some nice jams to get us all amped up and excited. Curious to see who's going to be the one to initiate the play here. Is it going to be Arab? Is it going to be Plus? Ooh, well, the answer is Plus. As Azem has now been spotted out in the open. Brah, brah. And the shots continue to fly on through. Yep, there we go. XENON gets it with the iron sights. Well, Blind, you know how it works though, right? It's like, so you made the prediction the first match and then you were lurking quietly. So in order for your prediction to come to fruition again this time, we're going to see, does it change if you are here for the entire match? Or might you have to lurk again? Right. Whichever way, we'll find out soon enough. But either, or regardless of that, we are going to be looking now to see exactly how our teams are going to be looking to push through this one. Superpower occupying the northern side here of boot camp. I mean, White Boy, yes, they are a little bit further inwards, close to Lobster. Dying upon the truth. Alright, a prediction coming through for the Falcons there as well. Alright, we'll take it, we'll take it. So 2 predictions coming through for the Falcons. So you say that they are going to be winging it, I mean winning it, right? Am I understanding this correctly? Alright, Mo Esports and Greedy, relatively close to each other. I wouldn't be lurking quietly. I will be very vocal this time. Love it. Alright, so speaking about vocal, let's see whether or not Greedy are going to be looking to make their presence known down onto the side there of Mo. Or maybe they could find themselves a little bit of superpower. Again, it could swing either which way. We just have to patiently wait to see which one it will be. But Pusher and RUKH now having a bit of a stare competition. If RUKH but only knew how close they are. Ooh, alright, but there we go. A bit of an opening play. Going through from the side of RUKH. As they are going at it with the side of XENON. All the way up towards the northern side of zone. RUKH, you gotta be careful. Because there is a RUKH hiding right alongside you. So Pusher can't exactly third-party peek this one. Obviously, they've got the audio cues. They can hear, but they can't see. It's almost like looking for a flashlight in the dark. But now Rami could find a bit of an opening here, a bit of an angle. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Are they going to jump at it? Yeah. Oh, but not making the necessary connections. Good play by RUKH, though. Managing to just barely escape. Speaking about escaping, let's see whether or not +18 and Arab Golden are going to be able to escape whatever fate has planned for them. As the blue is going to come swooping on in. They do have at least 600 and a bit of change to go, right? Quite a bit of distance to cover. Ooh, Timon! Yeah, they should have waited for Pumbaa to come along, but in the meanwhile, it is the opener, right? Arab Golden down to a 3-piece. Blue zone tickling away at those health bars. +18 going to be looking to just play a bit of upset here. In the meanwhile, it's going to be superpower, rather special. Special in 77k. Very close to the southern edge of Quarry here. But again, it's an interesting position because 77k, they've got a bit of that elevation. A bit of that Overwatch position to try and leverage against the side here of Special. And Special, obviously, they have lovely bits of hard cover to try and utilize. But it doesn't seem like either of these teams are too invested in this just yet. I think in the meanwhile, they are going to be waiting to see exactly where that zone is going to be taking us. We've got just 10 seconds or so left on the clock. Black Hand, they're enjoying the blue juice. As you can see them all the way over towards Camp Alpha. Falcons, they've had their full. They start to move up. Arab Golden and +18, still going to be hanging in the wing. XENON also usually a team that likes to go a little bit further down south. You know, a little bit closer towards Sami. Changing things up. They like to play a little bit of a late zone surprise. So let's see what the play is going to be coming into this phase. In the meanwhile, it's going to be Superpower. And Mo, as well as Greedy, held over towards that northwestern side of the zone. Ooh, nice play. Nice play. Division now having to fight on many fronts. And of course, well, it is going to be Special rushing up. Broly finding the play onto Vitor. Now one shot. Could feel a little bit of that love coming through here as well. Now there is quite a bit of contention starting to build up towards the center zone. Great hit coming through here from one shot. Oh, find it, find it. No! Down they go, Broly. Very, very happy play there, but of course now up comes the molly, so it could be rather short-lived. As Rodley now will have to just kind of fall back into safety. VanKid now going to be feeling the heat. Vampire's also going to be feeling a lot of that heat coming through. As you can see, RUKH Esports is hanging in the wing. Oh, VanKid. So much pressure now riding on their shoulders here. What's up, Jihad? Back like you never left. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. VanKid gonna try and spray like they never did before. Oh, ho, ho, ho. And they clutch it. Beautiful play coming through here from VanKid. I mean, and now that is what I would call a clutch, right? Very, very risky play. But it worked out in their favor. Now it's gonna be XENON and Jack Digger getting into a little bit of an altercation up towards the north. Out in the blue it is, and that is Danzo. Getting brought to their knees. Not quite sure what the plan is with the blue zone play, but, you know, we'll take it. We'll take it. Let's see whether my carry boy is going to be able to find the play on towards camper now. Oh, well, no need, as Marshall beats them to the punch. This is now spelling a little bit of disaster coming through for the side here of Jack Digger. I mean, they still have Miramar left, but as you can see, Miramar also going to be battling the damage coming through from the blue. So very limited options now remain here for Miramar. I mean, they're not that far away from zone. So they could still look to run this one out. Not quite sure whether or not they're going to be able to pull it off. For the meanwhile, speaking about rather pulling it off, it is going to be Raad, Mo, as well as Greedy. What's up, Red Eyes? Oh, look at the zone. Look at that zone. It is going to be playing out in Quarry. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. As you can see, also that eastern side of zone, rather vacant. You don't have anybody currently occupying that space. Hand, though, going to be rotating. What? Okay. Plus 18 and Arab Golden also now going to be coming through the blue. Arab at least making it out of the blue. But, you know, they've gone from the oven out into the flame as they are going to be rotating up behind Wave and the rest of the teams already secured with Inquiry. So a very, very risky spot to move into. Curious to see what plus 18 are going to be doing here, whether or not they are going to be following the same kind of strategy or maybe going for something slightly more towards that eastern edge. Oh, look at that nade though. VanKid throwing nades like they've thrown nades many a time before. Well, it does seem to be paying off. But up comes VanKid. Come on, come on. Oh, the one-man army. Bra, bra, bra. Oh, I thought that was it. I thought that was it. That was so close. No, Gaddafi. Why you gotta do that? Well, valiant effort coming through there from VanKid. I mean, at least taking clear vision all the way to 13th. But as you can see, both Special and Clear, both teams have left with 3 points up, 3 eliminations. Now it's going to be Zazal coming through, looking to avenge their teammates. With 77k, they're trying to defend it as best they can. It's now up to Cacao and Thor. Come on, Gaddafi. What you going to bring in? Esports also going to be feeling a little bit of that heat up north as they are now finding themselves right alongside Raad as well as XENON. And of course, well, no surprise, RUKH Esports also just winning in the wing. But yeah, slow, steady disassembly of Mo Esports, resulting in them getting sent out in 14th position. Hand also finding a bit of a play on towards the Vampires, as Hand has now been able to rotate all the way over towards this eastern side. As you can see them holding up here in towards Lakawe. But again, good ridge lines to try and utilize. A good decent spread coming through from them as well. But where's this next zone going to be taking us? As you can see from there, from Jack Digger. Also still just trying to ride out that blue storm. Ooh, plus 18. Also just waiting on the outside. But Falcons. They are going to be looking to make it quite challenging now for plus 18 to get a good secure position. I mean, regardless of how plus 18 rotate through this one, it is going to be a very, very tough play. Speaking about tough, Wave experiencing a little bit of difficulty here as well. Gaddafi feeling the heat. Let's see what Kakao can do here as we do wave goodbye to yet another team out there going 13th place, 2 eliminations up. So 77 at least now regaining a little bit of control here. Meanwhile, still quite a bit of carnage erupting on those outlying regions, right? It's going to be Raad and, of course, Superpower making their way down south. Moving fast. Ooh. Vampires. Yes, sir. Going from a winner-winner chicken dinner to a 12th place finish. But Raad playing a very patient game here. Ooh, that nade slightly overcooked. Not quite sure if Gordon Ramsay would approve, but in the meanwhile, that one is on the money as they do find White Boy Alpha Logi going down as well. It's now up to Berlin. But Berlin already covering quite a bit of ground, moving over towards that western side of the lovely quarry position. Meanwhile, Greedy, they are going to get shipped on out of here. We are down to our final 10 teams to contest for that potential winner-winner chicken dinner. Who's going to be the one to get it? Well, we don't know just yet. We're going to have to wait and see. But based on what we've been having happen here so far today, it could still go either which way. Falcons, very strong contender on this map. Yet to find themselves an elimination. But they've got 4 players up. Oh. Plus 18 being our team that has had the least amount of points secured on this map. Coming into this game, they've only found 17 points here. 13 of which has been eliminations. So they've been having a bit of a tough time making it into placement point territory. And again, they find themselves in a bit of a sticky spot. Right, another team will have to fall in order for them to secure an additional placement point. Because whoever goes out now in 9th will get sent back without any of those. And all they will have to show for it is going to be those eliminations. At least, plus 18, sitting here with 3 eliminations. So that now puts them up to a grand total of 16. This is looking pretty good for them. I mean, Falcons, on the other hand, right, coming into this match already with quite a few winner-winner chicken dinners. 101 points. That is looking pretty dang sweaty. So not exactly the kind of spot that you want to try and contest. But it does seem like the Falcons, they've now retreated back into safety. Looking to fortify at least that eastern side of the zone. But up north, things are still looking very, very contentious. We do say goodbye to XENON. 10 eliminations. Wow. There we go. Well, there we go. It is going to be the end of plus 18. So a bit of an engagement coming through between the team that has been able to garner the most points here versus the team that has find themselves on the opposite end of that scale. In the meanwhile, speaking about scales, it is going to be RUKH now looking to scale the walls and everything up above as they tried to get the jump on the remainder here of 77k. Kakao Ooh, ooh. Yep, you gotta stay well ahead of that blue zone. Down they go as Ra'ad finds them and, well, ends them right there. Ra'ad now down to a 2-piece. It's gonna be again and Reno. A very spread out approach coming through here from them. So not quite sure how much they'll be able to do from this current positioning. I mean, there's going to be quite a bit of information being relayed between the two. So let's see where these sprays take us. Oh, all right. They do find the hit up on towards Pusher. But now they're going to have to deal with Rami and Eugene hanging in the wing. They're looking to maybe avenge their fallen teammates now. Hand going toe-to-toe with Falcons. We said we wanted to see a little bit of hot and sweaty action, and that is exactly what is happening right here. So far, so good for Ra'ad. Bringing RUKH Esports down to a 2-piece. Ra'ad already with 8 eliminations up. You can see Black Hand there also sitting on 8. Ooh, ooh, very risky play. Yep, very risky indeed. It's like, just reminds them as to how challenging this particular spot on the map can be. But now, well, essentially we're up into Quarry. The difficulty in Quarry lies in not getting into the Quarry itself, but getting out of it. It's like a fly trap. Very easy to rotate into, but I don't think you can actually rotate into a fly trap. I mean, I'm not a fly, so I don't really know. But I mean, it makes sense, right? It makes sense. Let's see what the Falcons at hand are going to be doing down on towards that southeastern side as, well, the zone takes a beautiful shift up towards the north. Eugene are getting bombarded with a little bit of utility. Of course, now looking to return the favor down on towards Ra'ad, but again beats them to the punch. And that is going to be RUKH Esports and Ra'ad getting shipped right the heck out of Dodge. But a beautiful finish though, 9 eliminations up. Man, it's looking so good. Now, it is down to the final 3. Final 4 instead. Oh, there we have it. It's Black Hand and Falcons. Well, now it's technically 3. Well, officially it's 3. It's going to be Berlin. As well as, well, Neutron and Iron coming through there from Arab Golden. And of course, well, Black Hand, they could have this one in the hand. Oh, maybe even in the bag as well. But first, they're going to have to try and find this last place. Storm now just trying to ride it out. Oh, there we have it. Very clutch play. And now it is Berlin standing between Black Hand and a potential victory. Black Hand, they've already been able to have quite a bit of a play on this map before. But we've not exactly seen that victory getting secured just yet. Right, here we go. 13 eliminations. As I know the chat is going to say very, very soon, so I'll beat them to the punch. Heavy is the hand. Hey, there we go. Winner, chicken dinner. Thank you, Blue Zone. As it hands it on the silver platter over to Black Hand. And there we go. Very, very good play. 13 eliminations. That is quite the spicy chicken. A little bit of that extra sauce coming through all the way back from 2017. Of course, well, they've taken 1146. So, pretty good play. The Plaza effect. That is what Mr. Grounds says. Yes, indeed. Welcome, Mr. Grounds. The good old days, the good old days. Hey, we got Mentor even in the chat as well. So yeah, welcome to everybody. But what an exciting play coming through there from Black Hand, stepping up clutch with that lovely winner chicken dinner. 13 eliminations strong. You gotta love it though, right? Yeah, heavy is the hand indeed coming through for them. Hey, so many people now seeing that Black Hand get themselves a winner chicken dinner, and the chat all of a sudden just erupts. This Jahad, I tickle him. They tackle his namesake, yeah. Oh, Jahad tackles Jawad. Sure. But yeah, very, very exciting bit of play coming through there from them. And of course, well, let's relive a few of those moments. Let's see how many Black Hand moments we get. Bam! Here we go, getting ready to hop straight on through. Very, very exciting bit of Sanhok action coming in here. I do see a few questions coming through. Menta, I am doing fantastic. It's phase 3, day 1, match 3, done and dusted. I mean, what more is there to say, right? So we did see some pretty exciting gameplay already coming through. Who am I rooting for the next match? Teaston, I'll get into that very, very soon. Once we get a lot closer to that. I mean, we're close, but we'll get there. But yeah, I gotta agree with what Jahad said. Plaza coming back much stronger. I think the break did quite a few of these teams pretty well. Pretty good, right? Having that week to just kind of, reassess the whole situation before pushing into that final week. I think it's a very well-earned rest and, strategizing opportunity coming through for these teams. But of course, speaking about our teams, we are going to be taking a look at our top performing players with regards to MVPs. We're going to be taking a look at those damage graphs as well as the points. So there's quite a bit still to work our way through. And of course, well, we're going to be starting off with our teams. As you can see, Black Hand taking us back all the way to 2017. Right, just the other day, 13 eliminations coming out of that. The strongest conversion rate, though, is not going to go to Black Hand. It is instead going to go to XENON, finding themselves 10 eliminations out of 1296, falling just 4 damage points short or shy of 1300. So very, very impressive play coming through from the side of XENON. I mean, you got to commend FALCONS, RUKH, and RUKH as well. Valiant efforts that they've brought out onto the battlefield here. I mean, no surprise to see FALCONS, again, bringing in a strong performance. As we know, they are quite a force when it comes to the map of Sanhok, which is a nice bit of a change-up, because if you remember back in the previous season, it was the map that they scored the least amount of points on in comparison to the other two, right? But of course, speaking about points, let's take a look at this. It is going to be Black Hand walking away with a lovely, luscious 13 eliminations for a grand total of 23. RUKH coming through on 12. We've got the FALCONS, White, and XENON team securing themselves 10 points each. XENON, of course, just capitalizing on those eliminations, and that is all they were able to find in this game. Superpower and the rest following hot on their heels, but unfortunately it's going to be Jack Digger, Greedy, Vampires, and Mo Esports that are going to be joining us over in the donut shop. Now we have a few frequent visitors. They have got their own reserved positions. DK didn't get the blue shirt memo. I sent my own memo to myself and said, where's your Tuesday shirt? This is it. This is my Tuesday shirt. My day 1 shirt, right? Monday or Tuesday, depending on which day 1 falls. This is it, right? But in the meanwhile, speaking about memos, let's take a look at another team that has brought up quite a bit of a memo here, right? Of course, it is none other than the players here from XENON. As you can see, Marshall coming through with a very, very strong play, finding all 4 those elims. Also then, coming through with a 3 assists there on that one as well. Lazy Boy definitely not being what their name suggests, right? Instead, they've been doing quite a bit of work, locking in quite a bit of damage. As you can see that. And, well, Carry Boy, well, yeah, pretty good at avoiding the hits. So, yeah, very, very exciting bits of action going through here from XENON. But again, right, we got to see how all of that is going to translate over into our next match, right? We got to take it now from the jungle to the desert again, because, well, that's what we see coming through on match number 4. Also for Group A, this is going to be the end of their day, right? So FALCONS, Greedy, Mo, and Wave. Match 4 is the end of day number 1 for them. So excited to see on what kind of note they are going to be looking to end off the day. Well, with regards to who I think could maybe be potentially clutching this one out, maybe RUKH. Right, that's who I'm going to go for, because, I mean, FALCONS Virtual, they've already had 4 winner chicken dinners, right? Why do they need more today? On Miramar, right? So I'm going to go with RUKH because, well, they have 1. Yeah, Black End, they've got 2, so they've got enough, right? So RUKH, they need 1. XENON, they could also do with 1. So, yeah, but out of the 2, between RUKH and XENON, I'm gonna go with RUKH. So, well, speaking about RUKH, here's RUKH again, in a bit of a comparison, a bit of a head-to-head here with the Plaza all the way from Black Hand. You can see a slight bit of difference with regards to the amount of damage they were able to bring on through. Again, also just doubling down in comparison to what we saw come through here from Plaza, but you know, it is what it is. Right, Black Hand. Things went their way. And of course, well, as we take a look at RUKH again, we can see 947 coming through. Xerxes, our master evader, but also falling a little bit short when it comes to dealing those damage markers. Only 18 damage. So I guess it's good to say that, fair to say that Xerxes was carrying the meds for this past match. Again, coming through with 6 eliminations, 6 assists. That is looking pretty dang impressive there, gotta say. But, well, we want to see how they are going to be able to translate all that aggression that they've now just shown us come through on the map of Sanhok, right? How they're going to take that over on towards the lovely Miramar, right? I want to see what they're going to be doing. But of course, well, as we know, we are going to have one team sitting it out. So that is going to be, or one group rather, sitting it out. That is going to be Group B. So that is 77K, Jack, RUKH, and Special. They're going to be taking a bit of a break here. They'll be joining us back in match number 5. And as I've been saying already, right, Group A, this is going to be the end of the day right here. So excited to see exactly how these teams are going to be playing it out. Everyone else just going to continue upwards and onwards. So, yeah, the heat is there. The heat is there. And, of course, speaking about heat, you can share a little bit of some of that heat. Be sure to include the hashtag PMPL Africa when you hit us up on social media, either on Facebook or YouTube, where you are watching us right now. But, of course, you can also then let us know on TikTok. Right, so many different places where you can get hold of us. And let us know what your thoughts are with regards to, you know, what you think of what these teams are doing so far. And, of course, well, your overall thoughts about this current season of PMPL Africa. But, of course, speaking about season, speaking about things, right, it's almost time for us now to head over into Miramar to see exactly what our teams are going to be doing, where that flight path and zone is going to be going, you know, the usual stuff, right? Who's going to be the team to get the winner chicken? If you've got any predictions with regards to that, be sure to share it in the chat. In the meanwhile, we are going to be hopping into the plane to see exactly where that flight path is going to be taking us. And of course, then eventually, we'll figure out exactly what that zone is going to be bringing on through. But here we go. We are going to be starting up at La Cobreria. Hey, hey, hey. So instead of having a lovely, glorious vertical flight path, as we've had in the first Miramar of the day, instead, this time around, we are going to be looking at one that's slightly more slanted. Just a slight bit slanted, right? Not an aggressive lean in any which direction. I mean, it's nearly a 45-degree angle, so it's pretty close. I mean, it's leaning out a little bit more. So let's call that, what, 47 degrees? I mean, if you want to be exact, you can take your protractor and measure it. But either which way, I mean, the easiest way to explain it is you can obviously see there. It's going from La Cobreria all the way down to Impala. Those are the important points to note, at least for now. Of course, San Martin is going to be receiving quite a bit of love. The teams are quite close to it. I think Picardo and Power Grid is going to be having a little bit of action coming through there as well. Of course, obviously, Impala, very accessible from this point. So no doubt even that we are going to be seeing at least one team dropping right in through it. Meanwhile, as you can see, +18 going to be looking to get themselves secured all the way down in towards the lovely Los Leones. Smash, of course, going to be joining them there as well. So a little bit of a potential upset could happen, especially looking at how close they are. But ooh, look up towards San Martin. We got the Vampires. We got the players there from Superpower. and Plaza, right? All just in very close contention there. Guess to see how that one is going to play out. In the meanwhile, of course, Falcons going for their ult. All the way up in towards Trailer Park and the surrounding area. Usually we do see them move all the way down to Via Del Mar if the flight path allows it. But with this flight, with the zone rather, I'm quite curious to see where these teams are going to be looking to get themselves situated. I mean, the Wall of Battle already very close towards center. I'm curious as to whether or not we're going to have anyone potentially rotating all the way down in towards Chumacera. It could potentially happen, right? In the meanwhile, got Arab Golden and a wave. And a bit of a standoff. As it does seem like Arab Golden are going to be using this opportunity now to maybe find a bit of an alternative position to move into. Ilias, they were trying, but unfortunately they will get denied any of that. As +18 now looks to get a +1. And a nice smash hit coming through there as Torm steps up with the pan. I don't quite know how I feel about these pan finishes. I mean, sometimes it's quite funny to watch. But in the meanwhile, let's see exactly what Smash and Plus are going to be doing. I mean, no strangers to dropping up in towards Los Leones. But Arab Golden, Wave, Greedy, as well as the players here from Superpower, also still very close and contentious up towards the Junkyard, Graveyard, and the surrounding area. So curious to see if anything is going to be developing on that end. Smash now essentially have a bit of free reign. But I think a nice preemptive rotation from them could be quite sufficient. Right, especially seeing that we have the entirety of Chumacera quite available. It's going to be quite accessible for them. But we'll have to wait and see exactly how these rotations are going to work out. In the meanwhile, it's going to be Greedy going about their business in the usual position, right? Over towards Al Azhar. They're not going to have any visitors hanging around in the wing. Castle Black also with a very, very north position. So north that, well, we can't see them on the current map. Not like they've gone off the map. It's just that's how far north they are. Pretty close to Campo Militar, all the way up towards those northern reaches, right? Just on the edge of that zone. Raad also having a great opportunity here to get themselves nice and fortified. But I think it's all going to be quite dependent on what this next phase is going to be doing, as we still have about 3 minutes left, right? So the team's going to easily change their mind along the way, but holding on to a position like Monte Nuevo, Ladriera, if the zone allows it, this could be quite a favorable spot. Right, so XENON also now leaving behind El Pozo. Creates a bit of a vacuum then for the Falcons to move up in towards. Jihad saying that Goa is going to be the MVP. Sure. Yes. We'll see. But in the meanwhile, what we will be seeing, at least in the feed, I think, is going to be potential altercation then between Smash and the World of Battle. Arif and Hazem getting very, very close to each other. Arif could start with a bit of a spray. Ooh, but here we go with clear vision instead. I mean, we did see a very crazy clutch play coming through from Vankid just now in Sanhok. But will we have even more clutch opportunities to come through? As, well, we know Miramar, slightly different story. But looking at the performance that we've had from Clear Vision so far on this map, I mean, they've been performing quite well, right? 2 winner chicken dinners up. Going through with 78 eliminations for a total of 118 points. So that means 40 rather. Decent points that they've been able to secure so far. I mean, we won't talk about Falcons because they are just in a stat bracket of their own. Right, 188 points for winner chicken dinners, 106 eliminations, 82 placement points. The closest team to them is Virtual, and they sit on 64. That's a like 18-point difference. Nearly 3 winner, like nearly 2 winner chicken dinners. So that is quite a bit of a gap. But just shows the consistency that the Falcons have been bringing to this map in particular. They were pretty consistent on it in the previous season as well. The consistency is one thing, right? Will these teams be able to replicate those performances? Currently, Falcons are 70 points shy of their previous season's performance on Miramar. 70 points. Now with a very sudden shift coming through, it is going to make things a little bit more challenging for the Falcons, as we can see them still out in the blue. The only team currently holding onto the blue. The rest of the zone, yeah, it's going to be hot and spicy, right? We got Virtual, we got Smash, we got the players coming through from World of Battle, we've got RUKH, we've got XENON. Of course, we got Clear Vision in there, +18, and of course then all the outlying teams that are yet to rotate on forward. As you can see, up in towards that Picardo position, I think there is going to be quite a bit of contention to come through, especially with at least 4 teams having to try and rotate through that region to make their way securely up in towards this next zone. Focus now going to try and at least just put a few warning hits in the direction there of XENON to keep them at bay. And it does seem like, at least for the time being, it has somewhat paid off, as Marshall has instead trying to find themselves a bit of an alternative route to get up to the top here. But an interesting spread coming through from XENON. I mean, you've got Marshall, Lazy Boy up on the front line. The rest of the crew holding much closer towards center zone. Speaking about center, of course, that is where we've got the World of Battle and Smash, and now all the way out here to the graveyard. It is going to be Wave and Arab Golden getting into a bit of an altercation, a bit of action, a bit of spray down. It's a 2v2 now. So who's going to be the team already in the spot they need to be, of course? Well, the graveyard, right? Who's going to be the team to fall next? Not if the blue zone has any say in this. It's going to be all of them. Oh, there we go. Iron so low, but down they go. Arab Golden already where they need to be as they get taken back. First team getting shipped out to the lobby. Now it's going to be Greedy looking to capitalize on a bit of an opportunity here as they do find a Wave. Very beaten and battered. Very bruised. This could turn into a very costly play for both teams. I mean, Wave already super low in those HP bars. Greedy, well, if they're not careful, their bars could also start to drop quite a bit. It does seem like Greedy have at least decided to disengage and instead focus on that zone positioning. Now it's going to be Clear Vision trying to leverage a bit of this gatekeeping opportunity down onto the side here of Black Hand. As you can see, Black Hand, they're not going to fall for that trap. Instead, they are going to be dipping out, utilizing the terrain. And that will allow them a little bit more of that continuity. Ooh, one shot. You got to be careful. Super low on that HP bar. And all you need is one shot from Mazaro. That could end the run right there. Meanwhile, but yeah, the Falcons and RUKH looking to push through on the western front up north. It is still going to be Castle Black trying to tread on through. Esports now having a bit of a gatekeep opportunity as well. Ooh, but it does seem like Castle Black looking to return some kind of favor onto somebody somewhere as Pedro just climbs over the wall. Fortunately, it was the monster truck. Otherwise, I don't think it would have fitted. But let's see whether or not Esports are going to be able to utilize that hard cover for a little while longer, seeing that we do have RUKH just hovering above them. But what could be a bit of a saving grace is that position coming through from the Falcons. As you can see, nice angle down onto at least 2 players from the RUKH squad here. But this could be the cue now for RUKH to, to rush right over in towards Esports. Looking to challenge them for a little bit of that hard cover. So they're not exactly rushing just yet, but they are going to be looking to line themselves up on these ridge lines, trying to find as many angles to poke and prod at them. But now making all this noise, it is going to be drawing in the side there of Clear Vision, XENON, even potentially Castle Black. So things could become rather quite hairy very, very quickly. In the meanwhile, the Vampires are going to be looking to play it nice and quiet. Just a little bit more towards that eastern side. SAFG going to be sliding down the hill. Ooh, but the pressure is now on to Black Hand. As you can see, already going toe-to-toe with RUKH. Ah, there we have it. The hits have been secured, and now Black Hand going to have to risk it all to push on forward. But of course, it is going to be the Falcons looking to find themselves a bit of an opportunity. XENON, Clear Vision also getting caught in a bit of an altercation. +18 though. Very quiet position that they've got. The World of Battle now finding themselves smack dab center. Zoran Virtual Gaming Squad having to try and wangle their way through the lovely Chumacera. But how far are they going to be looking to push all the other opportunities? Ooh, come on, RUKH. Come on, RUKH. This could be the play. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Plaza. Beautiful hit. But the response is there. RUKH coming through with a great nade onto its hand as well. It's like we're watching a tennis match here, but it does seem like Black Hand are getting the upper hand. But of course, there's going to be Esports sneaking in for their own contribution. Oh. Nice, nice. Hey, what? Hang on, hang on. Hainsley. Oh, Hainsley. Finding the hit, finding the jump. And there we have it. Right, that is going to be RUKH and Black Hand. Both getting taken right on down. Off they go. Getting stopped in their tracks. Esports, hey, hey, hey. Stepping it up like it's no one's business. I know I said before that Black Hand already has enough chickens for today, right? But I was not expecting that to happen. Well played, some more Esports. Wow, talk about capitalizing on an opportunity, right? That is pretty much the epitome of it. So well played, well played. Alright, so let's see what the contingency plan is going to be now for more. How on earth are they going to get themselves back into contention? I mean, they still have Falcons, Clear Vision, and XENON to worry about. Meanwhile, there's going to be Wave and Castle Black. Oh, but Castle Black, they're going to be focused in on Greedy. SAFG looks like they're sliding down the hillside. Ooh, Mo playing a risky game. A very, very risky game as they've now rotated up onto Wave. As we can see things starting to light up and out goes Wave! Mo Esports! What? 6 eliminations up! Wow! Again, not expecting any of this. This is insane. I gotta love it though. Alright, here comes Falcons. What they gonna do? What they gonna do? It's clear vision up ahead. Kid now getting dropped down. It's up to Vito. Oh, that nade's coming close. Yep, very, very close. Another bounce. Oh, and that is Vito down. Teak! With a beautiful bounce and a wrap, and that is it. Clear vision out in 11th. XENON. Senke now trying to play a little bit of a matrix here as they're trying to dodge the lead all over the place. It's going to be Toxin. And the rest of Greedy. Moving in on Mo. Oh no. Vortex could be in quite a bit of a net problem. Oh, down goes Delov. XENON actually going to be looking to save the day here. At least to some extent. Let's see, will Vortex make it? Oh, gotta watch out for them flames. No, down they go. Nice play though. GG to Mo, 6 eliminations up. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I mean, wow, that was pretty exciting. XENON now gonna be looking to play a bit of third-party angles there on towards Greedy. Falcons could maybe look to do that down onto XENON. So let's see who's going to be the one to clutch it out of here. Who's going to be the team to take that winner chicken dinner? Drop your predictions in the chat. Let's see. Let's see. You can see our 9 remaining teams there on the left side. On the right side of the screen. So let me know, who do you think is going to be walking away with that lovely chicken dinner? Ooh. Could it be the vampires? Oh, I mean, Hazard has been quite a bit of a hazard here today, right? Let's be fair about it. We did see what Hazard did over in Sanhok. Well, and of course, what they did in the previous Miramar of the day. Hey, what's up, Javian? You just missed an insane play coming through from Mo. They finished with 6 elims. You can see it on the right-hand side of the screen. But, yeah, they went out in 10th place, 6 elims. Pretty dang impressive performance coming through from Mo. Alright, plus 18. Going to be holding over on towards the eastern side. Well, at least Nagato is going to be holding here. The rest of the crews you can see a little bit further down south. A headshot master, is that what you're saying? You're training to be a headshot master. Nice. Nice! Speaking about nice, Nagato now just joining up with the rest of the crew. See where that is going to be taking us. In the meanwhile, Smash team, yes sir, they got to push up. You got to do them push-ups to get themselves properly secured within the zone. Points leading, you can see it up at the top of the screen. Ashir, that is where we've got the leaderboard, right? Right at the top of the screen for your convenience. So you don't have to worry about it. You can see 13th to 16th position up top. Smash, Special, Greedy, and Arab Golden. And then we'll take a look at the rest there, going from 17 down to 20th. This, of course, is just where we currently find ourselves, where the teams went out, what the potential match rank could be. Well, there you go. See, if you ask for the points, then they show them on screen. How lucky are you? But there we have it. So RUKH is currently sat on a lovely 34 points, and they're not even playing this match, right? Falcons 1 point behind them. But are we going to see that upset come through? Will the Falcons get the job done? I mean, based on what we have currently happening for the Falcons, I think they could be just trading places. Potentially. Potentially. Alright, speaking about trading places. XENON, Greedy. Ooh, up towards the northern side. Zenk trying to find the angle. They do get AXA. Nice. Now it's up to Psych, Teak, and Puncher. To keep the flow going here now for the Falcons. 3v3. That's what we got cooking right over here. Virtual Gaming Squad inching, creeping their way on through from that southern side, moving in behind the World of Battle, and alongside the players there from +18. Come on, come on. Alright, so XENON just ensuring that they keep themselves nice and fluid, right? Trying to make it quite difficult for any of those hits to connect on through. But, well, based on what we can see, Virtual Gaming Squad, are going to be the only team still in need of a few eliminations. In the meanwhile, we do say goodbye to the players from Smash, at least finding themselves 6 eliminations. Well, Smash now all the way on 13 points. Ooh, no, it just got updated. There we go. Yeah, still on 13 points, but down to 14th position they go. They won 12th, and then those points added up, and then it's like... Alright, but Falcons, they got to still stay pretty focused here onto the side of XENON. Ooh, Grona though. Bring in a little bit of an upset, but Falcons trying to wrap their way around. This is going to be Teak up on the front line. There we have it, Psych. Oh, down goes Teak though. Puncher going to try and find that approach. Trying to reinforce, but there's no need. I mean, come on, there's no need. It is Psych, right? Psych up there with the AKM in hand. They can take care of business. Unless you throw Molly over, and then it's going to be Carry Boy to fall, and that is the end of XENON. Down to the final 4 teams we go. Very, very exciting plays coming through here, of course. Well, we do say goodbye to +18. Alongside the players here from XENON. Virtual Gaming Squad managing to bring Amjid back onto their feet. Ooh, but now... as Amjid comes up, down goes Mosta. So will they be able to get themselves properly secured and on good footing to move through this one? So Virtual already now sitting with 4 eliminations up. Falcons sitting on 8. Vampires and the World of Battle sitting on 1 elimination apiece. Seems a little bit odd, but you know what? We'll take it. We'll see how these teams are going to be looking to push through this next wave of potential upsets. So the World of Battle and Falcons now starting to circle up in center zone. It leaves the Vampires and Virtual to play for the edge. Good steady spray coming through from the Falcons. We can see 9 eliminations up already. Now looking to find a bit of a jump here onto the side of the World of Battle. Vampires now having quite a tough position. As you can see them on the downhill end. Oh, it could still prove to be quite a bit of a saving play, as especially the position of the Falcons and the World of Battle. Right, they are pretty focused in on each other. So this could actually allow for a bit of an opportunity now for the Vampires to creep a little bit closer to that zone. Falcons going to be showing quite a bit of patience here on the edge. I mean, they are essentially positioned center zone. So there's no major need for any big plays, big rotations to come through. Ooh. Alright, but they can still look to apply quite a bit of pressure now down on towards the Vampires. Instead, it is going to be Yafaz coming through there from Virtual. As they now spot the opportunity, lock in the angles. But Virtual Gaming Squad, the only team yet to rotate up in towards the zone, but it does seem like they are pretty committed on getting the jump in on the Vampires. Fares and Mostar coming in on the edge. Jafaz getting knocked on down yet again. Is there going to be enough though? We do find Malek getting knocked on down. Hazard, Ninja locked in on the front line. Oh, very exposed. Down goes Hazard. Ninja trying to make the run. Oh. There we have it though. That is going to be the end of the Vampires now. It's going to be the Falcons looking to jump at the opportunity. Already a very battered Virtual Gaming Squad. World of Battle could also now look to capitalize on this opportunity to maybe just fortify themselves a little bit more. Just strengthen their hold. They do have Psych to worry about. Virtual Gaming Squad still holding on to a full 4-piece. There we go. World of Battle doing exactly that. They do find Psych. Now it's going to be Teak. Oh, this could be the end. This could be the end for the Falcons. Come on, come on. The World of Battle going to be looking to get the jump. Oh, Corona with the nade. That is it. Boom, bam. Thank you for coming. So now it is between Virtual Gaming Squad and the World of Battle to fight for that winner chicken dinner. Virtual Gaming Squad now up to 8 eliminations. They were on 4 just a few mere moments ago. The World of Battle finding themselves 2 eliminations here as well. But let's see, is it going to be the World of Battle to secure this winner chicken dinner? Is it going to be, well, Virtual Gaming based on their spread across the zone? I do think that Virtual Gaming Squad, they do have the upper hand. They also have the numbers advantage. And, well, they do have Muhammad. Yes, sir. As Fares comes with the follow-through. Now it's going to be Arthur and Krona on the receiving end. Virtual Gaming Squad building up quite a bit of momentum here. And there we have it. A near instant play coming through. Virtual Gaming Squad walking away with that chicken dinner under their belt. A very, very exciting performance coming through here for them. Well, a very, very strong finish coming through from Virtual. 11 eliminations, 1677. Wow, pretty decent job. A very strong conversion rate coming through on their end as well. I mean, very little wastage, so great play. Virtual Gaming Squad virtually unopposed. Not really, but well played to them. I mean, they've been able to deal with the Falcons. They were dealing with the players coming through from the World of Battle as well. So very, very exciting to see all these teams stepping up to the challenge, stepping up to the plate, and of course bringing so much excitement with that. But of course, as we know, right, we are prepping ourselves now to head over back into the highlights, right? Because we got to relive a few of these amazing moments that we just witnessed. So speaking of which, let's take a look. All right, we're getting ready. We're getting ready to hop into a bit of a breakdown, right? We got to take a look at the points. We got to take a look at all the usual stats that we normally get to take a bit of a look at. I'm quite excited to see what that actually looks like. As we've seen, right? More Esports with 6 eliminations in the last match. That to me was a very exciting play. So I want to see more. I want to see more. More Esports getting off to a very good start on day 1 of this phase. I mean, the points might not necessarily always be there, but you know, the action definitely is. So, yeah, really appreciate what these teams are doing. But in the meanwhile, of course, we are going to be taking a look either at our MVPs or at our damage and elimination breakdown coming through between our teams here. So, yeah, it is just around the corner. But, well, here we go. We are going to be jumping straight into our MVPs. It is going to be Amjid taking 5 eliminations, 2 of which has come through from the lovely utility usage there. It's going to be Psych coming through with the most damage, 1108. Pretty exciting stuff. Krona with the longest hit, 374. And of course, Mama then, all the way from Castle Black, doing quite a bit of traveling, right? 9.5. So, yeah, it's quite surprising. I mean, this time around, we're not seeing as vast of a distance covered as we did see in the previous match, right? The previous Miramar, rather, which was 12 kilometers. So this one, 9.5. I mean, it's still a decent amount. Of course, that is the greatest distance traveled. So it means that everyone else covered much less ground. And of course, well, it makes sense because as we saw, the teams didn't drop too far away from where that zone actually shaped up with a villain. But yes, so speaking of which, right, speaking of zones, it's points time, right? It's going to be Virtual Gaming Squad locked in on 21 total points. Falcons coming through on a lovely 14. The World of Battle then secured all the way on 9th. We got the +18 Smash and Mo on 6 points apiece, all of which has taken a slightly different approach to getting into those 6 points. The Vampires are going to be winging it with 5, of course, capitalizing on placement. As you can see, 4 being awarded to them and only 1 elimination. So very exciting. Of course, that is them finishing all the way in 4th place, which is worth, well, 4 points. Now we're going to take a look at that second page to see who's going to be visiting us over at that donut shop. As actually this time around, we don't have as many customers joining us here, which is, I think, a nice bit of a change up, right? As you can see, it's only going to be Clear Vision and Castle Black. CC, that is who we have joining us. Arab Golden and the players here from Superpower are going to be walking away with 1 point to their name. So well played to them. Black Hand, only 2 points, which is quite surprising because, you know, off the back of that amazing winner chicken dinner we had, you know, what was that, 13 eliminations? It's a bit of a change. It's a bit of a change, but it's going to happen at some point. You know, we don't always see the team that gets that winner chicken dinner get it back to back. It's very rare that it actually happens. What happened now is usually the case, right? The team performs quite well in the match, and then they get so excited that they forget some of the things, and then it happens. It happens. But yeah, of course, well, speaking about what happens, well, we need to see what is going to be happening with regards to our leaderboards and whether or not we are going to be taking a look at that. But what we also know happened is the World of Battle bringing in a bit of a play, coming through in that second place with 3 eliminations. Which has come through based on the contribution from Muhammad and Kronos securing those elims themselves. But as you can see, a fair share being done by all the participants here, and of course damage all across the way. Even those assists, right? Pretty consistent play coming through here from the World of Battle. So it was definitely quite a bit of a battle, right, from them right here. So very excited for the World of Battle as well. But now, speaking about battles, right, we're still going to be having to battle a few things as we make our way even closer. As you can see up in the corner, we had about a minute and a bit of change left before we are going to be heading up into that next match. So, in the meanwhile, let's jump into a bit of a head-to-head, right? It's going to be Fares versus Psych. Based on how they performed in this last match, psyched out on 1108 with 4 eliminations and 5 assists, where Fares also secured themselves 4 eliminations, but only getting 2 assists and, of course, only 647 damage, right? So a difference of about 500 coming through here. I mean, it's 400 and a bit of something. But again, right, we're not going to be doing exact math at this point. Instead, we'll be adding it to the tally as we take a look at the overall play coming through here from Falcons. As we've said before, a very dominant team when it comes to the map of Miramar and still holding on to the most points being secured on the map, right? 202 points. With the addition of this last play here, AXA not really being allowed to do too much damage. As you can see, Psych coming through with a very, very strong carry on that one. So, yeah, how many matches did you miss? Only the first 4. I mean, you made it for match number 5, so you're just in the nick of time. But yeah, Falcons definitely now sitting on a very, very strong amount of points, 202. They are leading with the amount of placement points. They've actually been overtaken with the amount of eliminations, right? Only 116 is what the score is from the team that overtook them. I mean, Falcons are now 115 eliminations, so 1 point difference. Very interesting. And of course, now looking at Erangel, this is where things change up again, right? Because RUKH Esports, they are the dominant force when it comes to this map, right? As we know, Falcons White, they're not going to be playing this one, but they are sat in 3rd place with 123 points, whereas RUKH Esports in 1st place on Erangel are sitting on 244. So that is a 121 point difference between 1st and 3rd. But speaking about which, right, we are going to be hopping straight into the action to see what our teams will have to work with as we head into our very last match of the day. Match number 5. We are going to be starting it off on that western side. In the middle of nowhere, heading all the way up in towards the lovely, lovely Stolba. So, again, a slightly more northern-leaning flight path. Let's see where that first zone is going to be taking us, right? Whether or not these teams will have to backtrack quite a bit, or are they already going to find themselves pretty well situated within the zone? There's only one way to find out. We got to wait for that plane to finish all the way across the screen. Meanwhile, does seem like 77k, they are going to be dropping right down into Primorsk. So if you got any predictions as to who you think could be the team to reign supreme in this match, let me know. Statistic-wise, right, it is going to be RUKH Esports in the World of Battle. So being the 2 dominant forces here, sitting with 6 and 5 eliminations. Winner chicken dinners rather each. Clear Vision sitting on 2. We got a hand sitting on 1. XENON on 1, and aside from that, we only have RUKH and Superpower with 1, and of course Castle Black, and oh, look at that zone! What a shift. What a shift that is. So we got 6 teams sitting with 1 chicken dinner on this map. We got 1 team sitting with 6 winner chicken dinners, right? RUKH Esports. Are they going to be looking to add yet another one to the tally? Of course, there is our leaderboards, right? Falcons White sat on 42 points. RUKH and Virtual tied on 34. Black Hand also then holding nice and steady. But let's see. Are we going to have anyone looking to get themselves secured down in towards the military island? Are we going to have any of those preemptive rotations coming through? Or maybe a bit of a proactive rotation, right? We could either see the entire lobby looking to do that, or maybe even just 1 team. In the meanwhile, there's going to be Ninja. Oh, getting into... Oh, and losing! What? Wow, SAFG beating an Uzi with a blade. Wow, and it's not even like a long jousting pole or something. It is just a small little pocket knife thingy. Well freaking played, SAFG. Being a boss. Ooh, yep, now they need some boss level meds. They are going to get hunted, and well, they... Ooh, there we go. Speak of it and you find it. Yep. Uzi versus Dagger. This is like rock, paper, scissors. Lizard Spock. Right, you got to add that part in. Rock, paper, lizard, rock. Yeah, never mind. Well, I'll try and figure that one out. It is going to be Well, SAFG, I mean, going down, but, you know, getting a big salute because, I mean, a dagger versus a Uzi. That is just so dang impressive. I mean, that's gotta be my favorite play of the day so far. That's gotta be my favorite play of the day. So well done. Well done. Alright, now let's see what +18 are gonna be looking to do here. They have a bit of an opportunity. Camper holding on as the solo. Oh. I mean, when they are stationary like this, you can read the first part of the name. But when they are getting a little bit more mobilized, right, you can call them V6. And that seems like what they are looking to embrace here. But unfortunately, E-Flex with the reflex is going to end Jack Digger right there. Down they go, 16th place. And unfortunately, not a single point to show as they end off their day. So Jack Digger now walking away with 5 points for the day. That's it. Right, that's what they got. 5 points. It's unfortunate, but it's gonna happen at some point. They can of course only come back stronger in the next day. But in the meanwhile, let's see what our remaining 15 teams are gonna be doing. As Clear Vision is down to 2 piece, Castle Black down to 3, and everybody else, as you can see on the right hand side, sitting with all their ducks in a row. +18 somehow managing to find themselves 6 eliminations. And we've not even yet closed up the first phase. We are still waiting for that blue zone to close on through. And of course, who knows? Maybe they can look to add even more to the tally. As they're now going to be turning their focus onto 77k. They're starting to circle like vultures. I think the reason why the dagger is so successful is just because it's very to the point, right? Speaking about to the point, let's see what Morteza can do here. Oh, did that nade reach? No, it wasn't a nade. Oh, I mean, had it been, that could have been a clutch play, but instead Nagato gets taken on down. Beautiful rooftop play coming through here. 77k looking to now breach the building. But will they be allowed to enter? Right, +18. They've been cooking up quite a bit of a feast here today. Ooh, is Morteza going to be the next one on the menu? We'll see pretty soon. But XENON keeping a very steady angle right here. XENON and Morteza are having a little bit of a dispute, right? The one wants the door open, the other one wants the door closed. But it's not like XENON can even see out that door because it's just so smoke all over the place. And of course, you can add a little bit of chocolate to that as Cacao comes rushing on forward. Nagato and E-Flex now going to be holding up top. Alright, so a little bit of a standoff. As you can see, that zone still leaning heavily down to the southern side. Oh, alright, come on. Who's gonna find it? Who's gonna find it? Is it gonna be +18, securing themselves even more eliminations? Will they find the entirety here of 77k? Well, that blue zone is on its way in. So that could maybe spell a few problems for a few of our outlying teams. The meanwhile, ooh, Thor has been dropped. A lot of footsteps, a lot of pacing coming through here between both teams. It's going to be an important play for either of them, right? +18 coming into this match with 21 points up. 77k. Coming in with 16, essentially side by side. $77k, they are in 10th place. +18 secured in 9th. Alright, in the meanwhile, is going to be Arab Golden. Ooh. Getting met with quite a bit of aggression as they are down to 1. It's going to be Neutron. Trying to ride out that storm as they approach that southern island. But in the meanwhile, ooh, Vampire's also experiencing a little bit of difficulty there. As you can see, all the teams now lit up in red. All the teams getting tickled by that blue zone. Hand going for a very wide rotation all the way around Sosnovka, looking to rotate to that southern side. Smash also having a few knocks come through, but that is because Clear Vision is pushing in on them. Both teams now up in the melee base itself. But you can hear the rest of the lobby now approaching. See Virtual Gaming Squad off in the distance. RUKH Esports also just behind them. Oh, yep, a little bit of drive-by action. Alright, there we go. We do say goodbye to Arab Golden. As they've been picked up and shipped out now. +18 and 77k. They gotta do something here because that zone is gonna pop. But where's it gonna take us though? Instead, it takes us all the way down to the western side. Now, +18, getting ready to get it cooking. Up they come, pushing on forward. RUKH Esports also experiencing quite a bit of difficulty over on the bridge, but down it goes. 77k out of here. And that is +18, now up to 10 eliminations. Wow, the first team to hit double digits, and we've not even fully said hello to that third stage. In the meanwhile, RUKH going to be looking to get the jump in on RUKH Esports to come pushing on forward. You can see things are looking pretty tough as RUKH to spring into action. But again, now they find themselves in a little bit of a difficult spot here. They are caught out in the blue. Got a few seconds left before the zone is going to start to close up yet again. But the zone, you can see on that mini-map, just barely below. Alright, we do have Joker getting knocked as well. They're from the side of Castle Black. Quite a bit of contention now starting to build over towards that western side of the military base. That currently is smack dab center zone. RUKH now going to look to make a bit of a play for this bridge. The Virtual Gaming Squad, they want to try and control the access here. Try and play a little bit of bridge camp. But based on the momentum that we've seen so far from RUKH, not quite sure if they are going to allow for too much of that to happen. In the meanwhile, yeah, RUKH Esports out there going 13th. RUKH now, ooh, getting battered as far as. Reaches in with a beautiful spray. RUKH down to 2. Oh, nice. Beautiful trade coming through there from Reno. Securing at least that edge position. But now, RUKH, this is where things get a little bit risky, right? They need to secure their rotation up in towards this next phase because the blur is not going to be kind. In the meanwhile, it's going to be +18 losing E-Flex. They still have Torm and Nagato But they are securely positioned within that zone. Ooh, XENON now going to be looking to play a little bit of gatekeep. You see clear vision, smack dab center zone, right? RUKH Virtual Gaming Squad caught on the edge. XENON. Ooh, could definitely have quite a bit of an advantage there. Speaking about advantage, look at Black Hand sneaking in from that southern edge. Moving in alongside the players there from the World of Battle. Meanwhile, it is going to be Special Esports now down to Weiss. Not a lot of space to work with. In the meanwhile, the pressure will continue on this bridge. RUKH now back onto a full 4-piece, but they are slowly just leapfrogging away, trying to get across this bridge. Unfortunately for them, it doesn't seem like XENON are going to be looking all too determined to keep this bridge play cooking. So, yeah, this could be the opportunity, but maybe they could also lose Lazy Boy. Not yet, not yet. Doesn't seem like Lazy Boy, at least for the time being, has been able to make a successful disengage. Oh! And as I say that, Xerxes just whoops them out of the vehicle. Down they go. Love these upsets. Now XENON reliant on Senke and Marshall to carry them forward for the remainder of this match. RUKH somehow miraculously managing to get themselves at least off the bridge, but not necessarily secured. Again, coming through with the nade. Could this be the play on towards Senke? It's going to be bouncing. Oh, and it's on the money! Wow! Again, going purely based on audio cues. Very, very impressive play. Now, of course, well, it's up to Marshall. And Marshall doesn't have a lot of options available to them moving through the zone. Clear vision, meanwhile, they've moved in alongside the Vampires. We got the World of Battle just to their south, and of course, Smash over towards the east. Can hear a little bit of that Mosin action coming through as well. I want to see that Mosin rather making good connections. I mean, it is kind of like a AWM. Right, the AWAM. Just not as fancy. Still a very scary weapon. Yes, as to who is using it. Is it Vankid and Pocus with a Mosin? I can definitely hear Kronos using an M4. Oh no, it's the Mosin, Vankid. Yes, sir. Come on, Vankid. Got that 4-time scope on it. Alright, we just say goodbye to Castle Black. Down they go. Virtual Gaming Squad also down to your Foz, but now it's going to come to play. Vankid gets the play onto it again, and Marshall steps up to clean it out. There we go, down to Zuxi as well, and that is going to be the end of RUKH. 7 eliminations up, though. Very good finish coming through from them. Just falling shy of those placement points. Same can be said here. Whoever goes now in 9th. Right, plus 18, they also got shipped out. Walking away with 11 eliminations. So if it falls in 9th, I'm not going to be very happy about it because they only have... Oh, someone's down. Who is that? Virtual. No! Oh, nothing but bubbles. Nothing but bubbles going over to the side there of Virtual. Vankid gonna be pretty persistent with that. Mosin still gonna be trying to find a bit of a play, a bit of an angle. Meanwhile, Hand. Ooh. Playing a very risky edge position here down towards that southern side. They have lost Mozaro, but now it's gonna be Berlin trying to reach in. Quite a bit of range. Does seem like spray is A little bit here, a little bit there. Alright, so Unab, White Boy, Berlin, holding onto some pretty good angles. Oh yes. Oh yes. Very silent yet slightly devastating reach coming through there. As you can see, Black Hand now playing patch-up party on the edge here. Utilizing the smoke, but instead Plaza's like, nope, nope, it's not ready, it's not ready! Storm getting spotted and taking quite a bit of a beating as well. So Hand now finding themselves in a very, very difficult position right here. As we do see Koa getting confirmed, down they go. Right now, Plaza going to be looking to make that run. The spray is continuing to connect on through. Oh, it is looking very troubling now for Black Hand. And they are down to Storm. So Black Hand now going to try and storm their way into the zone. But not quite sure if they'll be able to accomplish that goal, as we do see Superpower essentially trying to lock it down. A full 3v1. I'll follow G a little bit further up north. But the heat is going to be on now, as the blue zone is going to be closing up. Unab and Berlin will have to move, and this could be the opportunity now. You can see Storm now just looking for a bit of an opportunity, a bit of an angle to try and find. Meanwhile, we await this next zone to shift. But where's it going to take us, though? Oh, that's the end of Storm. There we go. We wave goodbye to Black Hand. They will be our next team getting taken out of here. But, of course, the zone just casually shifting up, as is the players there from Superpower. They still maintain a bit of an elevated position here. Marshall, Van Kid also now side by side. Bit of whites there from Special, also waiting over towards the eastern side. But they could still sneakily manage to find their way up in towards that zone. In the meanwhile, Smash! Yes, sir. Getting hit as the Vampires open fire. Gonna watch out here for Yezen. Oh, Superpower. Superpower now in a bit of trouble. So one of the few instances where widespread could maybe still work out in their favor. In the meanwhile, it's going to be the Vampires and Smash. Looking to claim control of this eastern side. Oh, Arif is on fire. Out comes the nade though. Oh, there we have it. Arthur reaches in. Vampire is still holding on to a two-piece. You see Hazard and Ninja. Marshall also trying to find out how exactly they're going to get themselves situated back in towards this next zone. In the meanwhile, it's going to be Black Lost down. Ilias now holding strong, holding steady. Alongside Arif there for the side of Smash. But again, a very contentious zone. We've got only 16 players left. But Superpower in the World of Battle, they have the numbers advantage. But it does seem like the players there from the World of Battle might actually have the positional advantage as well. But it's all going to rely on how these opposing teams will work their way through. Meanwhile, it is going to be XENON to get stopped all the way in 6th place. 7 points in total, though. Ooh, Arthur feeling the heat. Oh, Berlin locks it in. DBS to the face, and that is it. Them going to be playing a very, very risky play. Oh, yes, sir. Very costly, too. They will get found and downed right there. Krona about to follow suit. Goodbye. And now the world of battle down to Muhammad. Quite a bit of a change round that we just saw come through here. So clear vision down to VanKid. The world of battle down to Muhammad. The vampires still holding on to 2. The world of battle, obviously, as we saw on 1. Smash going to be sitting on 2 with Arif and Ilyas. And then, of course, we still have, well, Superpower. With all 3 their players up there. So we got White Boy, Berlin, and Unab. You can see Unab definitely going to be carrying the team so far. 4 eliminations up. But it ain't over until it's over. So let's see who's going to be the one to clutch up. Who's going to be the one to get that winner chicken dinner. The last one up for grabs here today. So Nub going to be playing Overwatch. Was, well, one of the only 2 players still caught on the outside of zone. But they're going to be running out of time very, very soon as we see the blue zone about to catch up to them. But fortunately, Unab has a vehicle at the ready. Not quite sure if we can say the same about Muhammad. As you can see, Muhammad now just having a bit of a nap on the edge of zone. Vampires with a good position. Smash, decent spot. Nice bit of ball play that they can bring through here. Again, looking to utilize a few of these ridges. But Muhammad now is going to have a very, very tough time rotating out of this. Yes, sir. Down they go. And that is going to be Ilyas to drive them back. Up comes White Boy, inching their way on forward. Ilyas heard the noise. They saw a little bit of movement. We can see if they can improve that angle, potentially find a bit of a jump down onto the side of Smash. Right, so the vampires prepping themselves for the inevitable hazard. Gonna have to play this one very sparingly. I mean, they've only got 22 rounds. That's it. Right, so no crazy spray downs gonna come through here. Very limited ammo, at least for the vampires. It's pretty much say the same here for VanKid, at least for the Mosin. Right, we don't quite know what the situation is with the M4. But let's see who's going to find this last bit of a play. Now Superpower making the dash. Oh, looking to get themselves secured up in zone. Oh, come on, come on. Beautiful play. Hazard getting found there by VanKid as well. White Boy. About to feel a little bit of that heat as Arif lets the nade loose. Is it going to get close? Oh, oh. Almost a little bit too close for comfort. Beautiful nade here. Smash. Very relentless in their efforts. Trying to close it up at least now for Superpower. Oh, White Boy making a dash. There we go. Arif on it though. That Bison doing exactly what it needs to do. Now down to the final 3. Hazard and Ninja versus VanKid. And of course then Arif and Ilyas. Final 5 contenders. I think Hazard could now find themselves in a bit of a troubling position here. As you can see, that HP bar not looking all too fantastic. Vampires are now sandwiched in between Smash and VanKid. There we go. Gotta watch out though. Gotta watch out. Gotta watch out. It's wipe. Like what you do with a cloth on the floor. Wipe. Yes. But, I mean, he can only jump as high as the other players in PUBG. But let's see what Arif now is going to bring to the door here. The Vampires, again, not having to worry about sunblock this time around because they do find themselves inside, indoors. They got ample shade here to work with, but Hazard! Yes, sir, the opening play is there. Oh, down goes Ninja as Vankid reaches in. And now it's going to be 1v2, right? Vankid versus Ilias and Arif Vendo. Oh, wow. Vankid almost turning that whole situation on its head. What a play, though. Very, very exciting ton of events coming through here. The teams continuing to play the upsets, to play the surprises. And of course, Smash Team smashing this one right out of the park, walking away with a lovely 7 eliminations and 1285 worth of damage. But you got to commend the efforts coming through there from Vankid. I mean, that was almost the upset, right? That was so close to being the upset. Almost clutching it out. I mean, very, very exciting stuff coming through here. The team's definitely not disappointing on our first day right here on phase number 3. So very, very exciting stuff. Yeah, Swiper. Exactly. I mean, I couldn't have said that myself because I can't. But yes, very, very close. Very, very exciting plays coming through. And of course, very sweaty play all the way to the very, very end of this match. And I mean, that's pretty much been the consistency that we've been having from match 2 onwards, right? Match number 1, yes, was exciting, but it feels like the teams still were a little bit nervous, right? Once we stepped into match number 2, it felt like all the teams relaxed a lot more, and we did see quite a bit of an improvement. Speaking of which, let's take a look at these highlights. Well, there we go. Some amazing highlights coming through from this past match. But of course, a very exciting start to phase number 3. Day number 1 off to a very, very good play. I mean, we've seen quite a few teams stepping up, bringing in those winner chicken dinners. I mean, aside from Smash now getting that chicken, we also did see quite a few other teams, right? And there's not been any back-to-back plays coming through with regards to those chickens. But in the meanwhile, let's take a look at the leaderboard. It is going to be the players from Smash Team walking away with a lovely lush 17 points. 12 going over to the side of Clear Vision. Then, of course, Superpower and PLUSEIGHTEEN coming through on 11 apiece. But PLUSEIGHTEEN, they were just cooking up a storm here today. 11 eliminations. And, I mean, that's all their points brought in this last match. Some very, very exciting bits of action that we've had here. Of course, taking a look at the rest, right? It is going to be unfortunate for Virtual as well as RUKH Esports Arab and Jack Digger, as they'll all be sent right back to the donut shop. You know, someone's got to take those seats. It just happens. But what's quite impressive now, looking at the performance that we had just come through from the players there of PLUSEIGHTEEN, right? As we all saw, 11 eliminations. That's how much they found. But that is half of the eliminations that they found for the entire day, right? Because they end their day on 22. So, I mean, half the contribution coming in one single match. Very, very exciting stuff there for PLUSEIGHTEEN. But of course, speaking about exciting, let's take a look at this. It is Torm and Vankid having a bit of a show off here, right? It is going to be Vankid walking through with just 98 more damage than what Torm was able to secure. And of course, well, 3 additional assists coming in there as well. But both players essentially finishing on exactly the same amount of eliminations. So PLUSEIGHTEEN and Clear Vision clearly had a bit of a competition going here. But Vankid, well, they locked in all the eliminations for Clear Vision in this past match, right? As we know, Clear Vision, they ended the match on 6 eliminations, as we saw on the leaderboard. And now, looking at VanKid, well, that was the carry, right? That was the carry coming through from Van. But I was pretty excited to see that last play come through from VanKid. I mean, they were this close to playing the upset and potentially taking that winner chicken dinner from the very clutches of Smash. So I think Smash should be very nervous looking at what Clear Vision is capable of. But of course, speaking about capabilities, right? Let's take a look at this leaderboard. It is going to be Falcons. White sat on a lovely 42 points, 6 ahead of the players there from Black Hand. Of course, we did see the players now from Superpower jump up 3 slots as a result of this last match, all the way up into 3rd place. Vampires up 1 into 4th. And of course, we had PLUSEIGHTEEN taking a beautiful 2-slot jump up into that 7th position. So some very exciting bits of action coming through here. Quite a few changes. But of course, our biggest shift based on this last match is on the 2nd page, right? Smash, they've climbed to 5 slots all the way up into 9th. But Clear Vision, they've climbed 6 all the way up into 12th place. So they started all the way down in 18th. And as a result of that jump, well, everybody else in between has moved down. RUKH still in the same place. We left them before heading into match number 5. So some pretty exciting stuff coming through here. And of course, as we take a look down on towards the rest of the board, it's going to be Castle Black and Jack Digger. Then sat in that 19th and 20th position. But Mo and Arab Golden, pretty even. Both teams sitting there on a lovely 7 points. All points for Mo, of course, as a result of the elimination. So the 7 elims that they were able to find, 6 of which has come through from that last Miramar, right? Match number 4, right? That's where we saw Mo Esports playing quite a bit of a game, right? So very, very exciting to see that come through here. But of course, well, we need to see whether or not the teams will be able to maintain this consistency all the way through, right? Not just today, but we need to see what they're going to be bringing in tomorrow. As we know, tomorrow, day number 2, slightly different map rotation. Tomorrow, of course, is going to be Miramar Day. Very exciting day, right? As we will be having 3 Miramars played out with 1 Erangel and 1 Sanhok happening in between, just to add a little bit of color. Otherwise, it's just going to be a little bit of that, sand color, that desert color, whatever you want to call it. But yes, that is going to be what is up for stakes here tomorrow, as we are going to be looking to see exactly what our teams will be bringing out onto the battlefield. Good play. Phase 3, very exciting, right? We've had now 5 different teams pick up those winner chicken dinners. And of course, well, we can take a look at our MVP here as well. It is none other than Psych coming through with 29-13. Good contribution with regards to the damage. And of course, finding themselves 9 eliminations. So I wonder where the other 20 went. Right? It's shared between the rest of the Falcons white team. Of course, they concluded their day, as we did see, on 27 eliminations. And surprisingly enough, actually the Vampires are the team with the highest placement points for the day. 19. But they find themselves all the way in 4th place. So, yeah. It's a thing. It's a thing. 19 placement points and 15 eliminations. 12 less than what Falcons were able to secure on this day. But, of course, as we know, there's always day 2, 3, 4, and, of course, the last day number 5, to see exactly what these teams are going to be bringing in. But I believe on that one, right, we are essentially going to be closing off the proceedings here for the day. We've taken a look at the leaderboards. We've taken a look at what these teams have done. We've seen who our MVP of the day is. But, of course, all that is left now is for us to wonder what day number 2 is going to be bringing on through. Of course, you can share your thoughts on social media as well. You can hit us up on Facebook, YouTube, as well as on TikTok. Be sure to include the hashtag PMPL Africa. And, well, tell me what your thoughts are on today, right? Are you happy with how the teams have been performing? Would you like to have seen a little bit more? Maybe a little bit less? I don't know, right? Share your thoughts, let us know. But, of course, be sure to include that hashtag PMPL Africa. And, of course, essentially on that one, I think we are pretty much wrapping it up here for today. So be sure to join us back again tomorrow. Same time, same place, and even more PUBG Mobile action as we head into Miramar Day. So until then, stay fresh, stay frosty, and we'll see you all later.
But they all see.